And so, therefore, I come to the mantra of, I'm sorry. I thank you for the current and hopefully future opportunities to be better. Every moment is delicate and requires all of me. I understand that now. This isn't a weird shot. Wait a minute. So okay, I'm gonna go back to this because there was someone at my job that was kind of shitting on the 3 Stacks album too. But before they ever heard it,
it's probably because when you think of 3 Stacks, you think you're getting the rap album. You think you're getting something like Stankonia, something from like Outkast.
And this is kind of where this came from, right? Because I looked up and I asked y'all who liked the 808s and Heartbreak when it came out. Okay,
we all did.
It
sounded good. Yeah, I think everybody did. Now, Yeezus, a lot of people didn't like. Right away.
Yeah,
some people still don't like Yeezus. Yeah, I liked it right away.
Did you like that Lil Wayne album?
Right away, Rebirth.
Yes.
As I was playing that. She's saying, "Do you have the time?" Yeah, I was playing that shit from the go.
Wait, we're talking about the new.
No, back in 2010, 2011.
When he was like on his Green Day, punk rock type of
Drop the World album.
I still fuck with that. Yeah, for sure.
But did you like it when it came out?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
For sure.
Yes.
Okay. It was different for sure. It's something, not of his style, but like he made that shit work for sure.
Okay, so what you're saying is,
I'm biased because I was,
yes, I know. I know.
Yeah.
But the sounds on the Andre 3000 album, you don't like. You don't like the fact that he's playing a flute. You just don't like the sounds that you're hearing.
Yeah, but I'll tell you
Have you ever heard a flute and thought that's nice?
Yes, all the time.
Okay.
I could go find me a flute album and I'd probably like it.
Okay.
But I will say that he said that he has been playing the flute for years now, and it's been used on some of our favorite artist songs without us knowing. And I was like, if I find out that nigga did Mask Off, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's a bet.
That shit's fire. It is fire though.
That was the best song on that album. That was the best part of the song.
Yeah, that is very true.
That was the best part of the best song on that album.
That's very true. All right, the guy from my job was just like, I just feel like sometimes, these artists just they just get a little too artsy. They just kind of, I want to, give a space for artists to like doing other stuff.
Tell them, do it again.
Just make it
again. Just because you made it doesn't mean it was great. Keep doing it.
Do it again.
Yeah, keep doing it. If you're gonna get in that lane, just keep doing it. It'll get better.
Yeah. Well,
that's it.
Did you listen to it?
I didn't listen to it fully. I listened to the first song on the album, and I was like, I can't be mad 3 Stacks, but like at the same time, it's just I don't know if I can fully listen to it. Out of respect.
Yeah, I definitely I listened to that joke, but I was like, okay, I can go find some flute albums.
What have you been listening to?
What have I been listening to? I'm still been listening to Travis Scott, Chris Brown, Lil Wayne. I'm all over the place. I like listening to jazz sometimes, depending on what mood I'm in, for sure.
What you listening to?
I'm going back in time recently.
Oh, it's because you've been making music and using old stuff. Yeah, what's going on with that, by the way? Like, you do a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But like, you've now been not only preparing to try to break a world record, or a rowing
blistered up
record, but you're also making music.
That's why a lot of it gets made too, because the ideas will come while I'm trying to occupy my mind while I'm rowing.
Oh, so you don't listen to music when you row?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, time stretches during those times. Like 5 seconds feels like.
So you still get a lot of thinking done when you listen to music?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of moving this around, moving that around. Oh yeah.
Do you get stuff done when you think about stuff when you're playing music, or do you just listen to music?
It's a good question. I mean, I feel like when I'm listening to music, it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm cleaning, I'm in the zone. Like I just got music going on in the background, 90s, whatever. I'm just saying, just to like a vibe. And
90s R&B.
Yeah, 90s R&B.
No
hip-hop.
diggity.
Matter of fact,
No doubt.
on the first, second, whatever, one of these longer rows I did, I had the MacBook next to me, and I was actually like doing shit while I was rowing. Because my working pace it's not crazy. Like it's a comfortable pace for me, that I can just maintain for hours.
So you'll get done like rowing like a 500 meters or 1,000 meters. I don't know how long you're going now at this point. And
I rowed a marathon 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know, but like whenever you put the sticks down, you'll then turn over to the laptop and do something.
No, I'm talking about pooling. In the middle of the pool, because I have different SPMs. Stroke pace. So like
we're gonna talk about these moments because I got a question. No,
so in a minute I'll stop and as I'm actively rowing, I can go in there and change. I want to hear this now as I'm making changes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, do you think that you will say whoa into your 60s?
Yes.
Yes. You didn't see that question coming, did you?
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out like how long this is going to persist.
It's gonna be forever. It just sounds funny. Because like I'll say all homo, like just to be funny. Like, it doesn't matter. Like it just sounds funny.
Oh, okay.
Like today, so before we start, we all do a group, like just a little quick stretch. And the guy was like, "Hey, so and so, you wanna stretch this out?" I was like, "Whoa!" And everybody started laughing. He was like, "Oh man, he great."
I want to bring up something you were spoken about last time you were on. You said various times, and then we can unpack that. And you said it so many times. There was no way we were going to be able to go back and unpack all those things. But this conversation does bring me back to one of the things.
Okay.
Which is you talking about smoking, and I think you're doing that less now than you were at a point in time.
Yeah.
The dream's getting better. Are you dreaming?
I mean, honestly, bro, like my dreams have been all over the place, but had a nightmare for the first time a couple nights ago, and that wasn't. Really all that was.
What does a nightmare mean to you? Does that mean that it's scary? Like, what does a nightmare mean?
Not necessarily scary, just something that I don't want to happen to my loved ones. And this nightmare in particular was about my fiance.
Now, when you woke up, I'm sure you woke up during it.
Yeah.
Were you hot?
No, I was.
Were you just like sweating?
No, I was just flustered. Like I was just upset.
Normally for me,
Dream King over here.
Yeah, dead ass. Normally for me, like what I found is when I'm having a nightmare, like I'll wake up. It's most of the time because like I'm just overheated while I'm sleeping. So my body and my brain just perceives like hot. I don't know if it's like trying to wake me up or if it's just like a side effect of being hot and not realizing my outside physical body is hot.
Right.
My mind is still trying to have a dream.
Yeah.
So whatever's going on in the dream is just going bad.
Yeah.
But when y'all say, okay, like, well, I mean,
Accident. Hold on.
Yeah. Oh, I think we're back in.
We're back.
But I think, like when you say nightmare, okay, so just something that you don't want to happen. Okay, so that constitutes a nightmare.
Yeah,
something
I remember the
it's
nightmare too.
just a fearful situation.
Fearful situation.
The emotion that you're feeling in the dream is fear.
Yeah,
that's the nightmare for me. Like
I remember
it'll be like a big ass snake comes in here and that joint just keeps lunging at me. I just keep stealing it and slamming it, but it keeps coming back alive. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
and then I wake up and I'm like, oh
yeah,
I'm just hot.
It's so surreal too, bro. Like oh my god, it's so livid. Like I remember the whole nightmare too. So how it started, it was just me and my fiance. Of course, we went to like this big celebrity party.
Of course,
that's already a nightmare.
It's already a nightmare.
Yep, that's already a nightmare. I'm already terrified.
But it was a dream turned to a nightmare. No, hell no, no.
like a Gatsby sort of event, like a big
house.
No, it was more like a party, just an amalgam of people just coming from all over the place and just just hanging out, just being cool. But I remember just me and my fiance. My fiance was sitting on my left side, and I was on my phone actually. And then the celebrity comes up out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's where you messed up. You was on distracted on the phone.
Yeah.
See,
But it was cool.
P's and Q's. You out. You out somewhere.
Yeah.
You don't know where you at. You just around a bunch of strangers, and you on your phone. Go ahead.
But hear me out. So, of course, I was on my phone, and then the celebrity comes up. It was funny because it was Chris Brown. It was Chris Brown's party. So I was just sitting there.
That's a scary situation too. Chris Brown, you know his man. You know he probably in the corner busting lines, and you probably like, yo, I gotta get out of here.
But so he comes up out of nowhere, and I'm still paying attention to my phone. He comes up, he gave me dap. So like I wasn't even fully looking at him when he gave me the dap, and so like the dap was prolonged, and then I look up, I saw oh shit, that's Chris Brown, that's cool. And then the dream cuts, and then next thing I know, my fiance wasn't next to me anymore, so I was like, the fuck. So out of nowhere, everything else was black. I just looked to my left, and there was a random room like to my left. So I was like, well, what's going on over here? So I go in there, look in the room, and she's laid down. She's on the bed, like laid down. Like her lips are blue, and like she has scissors in her hand, like she's about to poke her eye out. So I grab the scissors. I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Don't do that. And like she starts, like her eyes are like just blinking like this, like she started tweaking. And I was like, yo. So I go downstairs like, yo, somebody call 911. Somebody call 911 right now. Call them right now. I'm just freaking out. And like, nobody was calling 911. So I get on the phone, call them. And then the dream cuts again. Next thing I know, I'm in like this area where like, SWAT, it was actually SWAT, like a SWAT type area. And I knew one of the SWAT members. I was like, oh, hey, I know you. He was like, yeah, how you doing? But like, I'm doing good. I was like, I forgot your name though. It's Brad. I'm like, oh, okay. Nice to see you again, man. And then dream
Shout out to Brad, by the way.
Shout out to Brad. Dream cuts, and then I somehow end up in the hospital, and she's there. She's strapped up to to everything. And they start operating on her, and everything was fine in one moment. She was coherent, talking, everything was good, and then she just starts tweaking again, eyes flinching and whatnot. And then the doctor's like, "All right, sir, you're gonna have to go. We got to operate on her." So, dream cuts. I'm just over, and when the dream cut, I was actually in like the McDonald's seating area, just walking to that area, and then I was passing by a bunch of people, walked outside, and then thinking about it now, I actually thought about it during the dream. All the people that were in the seating area of McDonald's were the people from the party.
Oh shit.
I was like, oh, that's weird as shit. And then I go outside and I'm just fucking freaking out. I was like, I hope she makes it. And then I go back inside the hospital, and before I can get any kind of news, dream cuts and I wake up. And immediately I just look over to my left, make sure that she's good. And I just started, loving up on her. I was like, yeah, I didn't go back to sleep for a while.
So that's what your sleep is like.
Yeah. I mean, no, that happened one time. And for as long as I can remember, I don't tend to have dreams like that. But
Okay, well, the reason I was because we've gotten from smoking to dreaming to this is I was talking to someone one time, and they were I guess not a fan of smoking for whatever reason, and she said that she feels like smoking is a way to escape from everything.
Okay,
and I know that you said that you were using it that way. I think that anyone that smoked for a prolonged period of time has probably used it in that way at some point in it.
Absolutely.
With you smoking less now, do you find that thoughts are arising that you feel like maybe otherwise wouldn't have?
No.
I
don't think so. I'm just, for me, slowing down smoking, and I had to for like my health, and it wasn't bad or anything like that. I just I remember I told you I had like this whole like throat infection thing.
Oh yeah.
And then whenever I smoked, it kind of made it worse. So I was just like, let's just slow down smoking for now.
Oh, so you just needed edibles is really what this comes down to. It's like you still want to get high, you just don't want to smoke it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much, but
okay.
Yeah. So I feel like my thoughts are a lot clearer. I'm more present for sure. I just really, and I don't get like those withdrawals like that I used to when I was like really smoking heavily. So
okay, so you're clearer, but you being clearer isn't necessarily bringing up any thoughts like that you wouldn't have had. See, because I told you Keon he was him and I were talking about Twitter, and he was just like, I just don't remember like what life was like before Twitter. He was like, I don't remember like what I would have been spending my time looking at or paying attention to if it wasn't my phone. Like before, right? So then the question is like, what do you pay attention to if it's not that? Like what else would you be thinking about?
Right.
And as I've talked to people about taking this sort of content cleanse in a way, they're just like, so it's just you and what? Like it's just you and
Really?
It's just you and thoughts up there.
Wow.
And I know you and I have talked about this.
Wow.
You'll say like maybe sometimes in the car, like you'll just
All the time.
you'll
I'm
just
right here
think,
today. Yeah.
and you'll just like think things through, just like let them go through. So you've kind of like,
need anything.
understood that, right? But so that's kind of
Like, yeah, what's around me? What's present? Like,
yeah.
you know?
But it's interesting to have the thought of like, what would I do without it though? Like, what thoughts would I have? Like, would thoughts just not arise? What would I not like the thoughts that come up? So I was just wondering if you use music, because I've been having this conversation with various people, like if you use music as maybe a way that you used weed to distract yourself or to, sort of like push thoughts off to the side that you don't really want to deal with at the time.
Maybe when I was younger, but now I'm just listening to music just to listen.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's that deep anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're probably overthinking it.
Yeah.
They're already doing the things that they would do without it, just not at the degree.
Yeah.
It'll just the knobs will get turned. Or I do this less, and we'll do this a little bit more. Oh, that's right. I do like cooking. Shit like that.
Yeah. I've been having a whole lot of thoughts recently, and I've just been like, man, like, where were these thoughts at?
That's all it is.
Like,
Yeah.
that's me. I'm just like,
They were there.
I'm like, where
The
were
thoughts
these?
were there. You just weren't paying them enough attention.
Yeah.
Thoughts were
yeah,
there.
they seem dialed down. Yeah, they don't all seem new, but they certainly seem, like you said, like
You're
profound.
just giving them more time.
Profoundly louder.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Certain voices are louder.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it, for sure. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I felt like I haven't given nearly enough. I came up with this mantra today.
I love doing mantras, bro. Stay coming up with mantras, bro.
Was it like a hack? How do you look at them?
It's like a glitch in my head. It just happens. Like a mantra will just pop up.
Like self-motivation kind of thing.
Not even, but it's like if it's like Tuesday, one of these days this week. Finished working out at the gym, and as I was leaving, I had my slides on. And in the most awkwardest way, I couldn't even repeat it if I tried. I like bashed my foot on the corner of the stand where you put the heavy plates on.
Yeah. Oh.
So that joint didn't move. I just bashed my side of my toe, like bottom of my foot, like right in the awkward spot, right, and it hurt like shit. But I didn't want to yell out because like the next class was starting.
Right.
So I was just like, so I'm walking out of there, right. Limping bad, like not even limping, but I'm walking very slow so I don't limp because I don't want nobody to see it. I get out to the car. I'm like, nigga. I'm like, ugh. So I get in the car. I'm getting ready to drive out the parking lot, and I realize, I can't drive with my right foot because I can't feel it. Like my foot was so numb from hitting that I couldn't gauge how I was stepping on the pedal. So I went to drive and I like jerked the car forward, and I was like, oh shit, like I might have just broke my damn toe. Shit. I was like, shit, and my first thought is, what if this fucks up like my row? So as I'm driving with my left foot now, I was like, I don't give a fuck if I broke my toe. I'm still going to roll. And I just start repeating that shit. And then I start making myself drive with my right foot. And so then like, I'm like just almost like hyping myself up more. Pain's going away. And I'm getting happy from it, right? So I'm driving. I get home and get inside, I look at my foot. And it's soaked in blood. And I was just like, I'm just fucked up. I was like, bet.
Yeah.
My toe's not broke. It's just gashed.
Yeah.
That'll heal.
That's a better word. Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
like, bet. Like this, that'll heal.
Yeah.
I do not want a broken toe. Like, fuck it. I'm gonna fuck up a broke my toe.
Broke my toe, I'm still gonna roll.
Yeah, like, I'm screaming that shit in the car. So it'll be like that. It'll be like that quick.
Okay, mine was a lot more peaceful. Now, so mine was. I just want to say it more often. So mine was. I'm sorry. Thank you for the current and hopefully future opportunity to be better. I will try my best. Every moment is so delicate. It requires all of me. I understand that now. So that was mine. Very, very different than breaking your toe and then finding out that it was gas and there's just blood everywhere and you just trying to make it home so you can continue to row the next day. Very, very different. But you heard me talking to Nick on one of the podcasts, and Carl kind of falls into this category as well. I've just been looking at people that haven't seemed to have extremely large driving egos and just trying to learn from them. Just kind of wondering like what life has been like for them, you know, versus for me. And I've just felt like I've just recently been able to see just innumerable amount of moments in my life where my ego was super in charge of the situation. And here's the next question. When was the last humiliating moment you've had, or just highly humbling moment that you've had?
Why are all my stories like working out stories? But it was fun. Actually, that wasn't even humiliating. It was funny. For like a split second, it kind of was. Like a split second, because it didn't.
I really want to hear about this.
It didn't make no sense.
Oh no, what happened?
We were just.
This is gonna be so funny.
We were supposed to be getting our weights out, like load up our bars for our starting weights. I went over. I'm picking up. I think it was either the 45, 54, whatever the heavier plates. And as I was picking it up to like turn and like leave the same weight rack where I bashed my toe, the foot got caught underneath the weight rack. And so I just fell completely back, like flat on my back, like a
weight in hand.
No, I threw that joint like a fucking turtle. I just smacked the ground because like my foot stayed, so my body was like bow, and everybody's just like, "Yo, like what are you doing over there?" And I was just like, "God." That shit looked crazy. Like, yo, like, what are you doing over there? It was like a car.
It's like, bro, you are an athlete.
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? We are not even working out yet. Like, why are you on the ground?
I was like, yo, and the way I felt was just like straight legs. Like, that looked crazy. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. I think somebody might have said that. Somebody's like, yo, what are you doing? I was just like, no, my foot got caught, man. I don't know. That shit been fucking me up, man. Like
what's funny is that's to some degree that's kind of what my mantra is about. It's like that I've understood that there's no room for me to not be trying my best to be as present as possible at all moments in time. Like there's no room because every moment where like I'm vulnerable to failing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And like, so like just that moment, you just go to pick up a weight and you're not necessarily paying attention. You come up, now you on your back, you throwing a weight that could have hit somebody. Like you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Yeah. That's just one moment. Just one moment that required all of your attention or else.
Yeah.
And we saw what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's hilarious. Do you have an answer to that question?
And I was thinking about it. Yeah, I think this actually ties into my job that I'm working at now. So I'm actually, funny enough, I'm working with the guy. He's a team lead, crew chief kind of person.
This job is interesting to me, by the way.
What are we talking about?
So my job entails, so basically we're working all around the Prince William County schools, elementary, middle, and high schools. What's up?
You doing duty?
No.
Oh no. This is. I think this is different. But what I'm doing is we're putting up like a protective film. We're basically reinforcing all the exterior windows and doors at the schools. So if anybody tries to try to break in,
break out,
or more so breaking in because of the society that we live in, with all the school shootings and everything.
So it's like bulletproof.
Wait, can you break out?
I'm sure you. I mean,
oh shit.
Yeah, it's interesting because I was thinking about that too.
I haven't thought about that.
I just assumed that it was easily exitable.
Because if I know that y'all can't get out these windows,
because it's more of for people trying to break in. As far as out, I'm not. Because
I'm trying to think of a situation where they came through the windows with it. Mm-hmm. I've only seen situations where they was like escaping through the window, come out. You know what I mean?
Thinking about it, actually, it should be the same because trying to break, you could shatter the glass.
Yeah,
it's enough it's basically enough for the students.
They can open the window
and faculty to have enough time to get to safety.
Yeah.
So, I think my job entails
doors though.
Yeah, like all the exterior doors, windows, anything that can be easily accessible to that door. Where they can easily get in. Yeah. The job I'm doing, I never knew there was a job out there like that, but then again, with those schools.
Now we need one.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's
right?
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, honestly, the way that I feel about it, I love kids. I love interacting with kids and everything. I think I'm making a positive, impact to society with this job.
By the way, is this a new company?
Yeah, they're actually based out of Syracuse, New York.
Damn, so they legitimately
hunker down.
Yep.
They made a new business based off of the amount of school shootings. That's so crazy.
It's crazy, man. Mm-hmm. It's sad, but it's crazy.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder. It just cost a lot. You can just drop a steel blockade. Press a button.
Where?
Front of the door.
A steel. I'm certain that costs a lot of money.
That's what I'm saying.
A steel blockade.
Probably just costs a lot of money.
Jeez.
It's crazy that we need that.
That's cool.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah, it's wild. But as far as the humbling experience, the guy, like I said, the guy that I'm working with now, he was like a crew chief, team lead type guy, and he'll come down from Syracuse every so often. For the past couple of weeks, I've been working with him. But this guy, man, oh my goodness, he has some anger issues for sure.
No,
he's I don't know what's going on with his personal life, but it's translating into his work life, and unfortunately, I've had to bear the grunt of it.
I'm gonna need some windows at the office.
Well, I mean, maybe I won't ask you to get into particulars, but okay, continue on.
So, with this guy, working with this guy, he knows we spoke about it man to man too, because we've had multiple occasions where he'd be so angry on the job because things don't go his way, whether it be little or insignificant or
older guy,
44 years old. It just, whenever he gets upset, and he knows that I'm the new guy, but unfortunately I have to bear the grunt of it. Mm-hmm. And so, he'll come up man, fuck, I can't believe this shit. I don't know why this shit is happening. This, that, and the third. And I'm just in my mind, I'm like, dude, you just gotta relax. Even though stuff is not really working out, we're helping the greater society. We're helping the younger generation. We're helping the kids out. So as long as you think about that, then everything's going to be fine. Those types of things is not going through his mind, at least from my point of view. But like I said, multiple times I've been on the grunt.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to figure out the humbling part of this.
No, I'm getting to it.
Oh, okay.
Where he'll get mad at me, and just having to deal with that. So for me, I feel like it's just taking a step back. Even though he's not particularly mad at me, he's mad at the job, and it's nothing personal. It's not directed towards me. So I had to take a step back and be like, okay, this isn't personal. It's nothing like that. He can be mad at me, whatever. Don't take it personal. Just be cool. Do your job. Everything's cool.
Is he from New York?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you finish the story. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, that was pretty much it.
The humiliating, because
because
we have those types in our field. And there's one foolproof way.
It's frustrating, bro, because like I said, he knows that I'm new, and we've had that conversation, but we keep revisiting that. So it just got to a point I'm just done talking about it. I don't want to keep doing this.
I've seen this same person, the same mold of a person over and over. That's why I knew he was a little older. He's from New York out there. I already know there's really one solution that kind of fixes it. Even though you might not want to do it. Like, you just gotta look them dead square in the eye and be like, yo, like, who you talking to? Like, just one time. And,
man.
like, it's just like when you give them just that little spice. Me and my guy I'm working with now talked about it. Like, guys like that, like, you don't want to be that way, but when you just give them that one little bite, look at like dead at them, like, bro, it's kind of like checks them like, yo, what am I doing? Okay, I don't try him no more.
Yeah,
and so all that energy gets directed back to whoever's next. He just does it towards you because you're just like, yo, I'm new. I'm like just trying to be cool. And that's what a lot of those guys do. They put it out on somebody that's not going to say something that's new to the job until somebody else is like, yo, man, why don't you leave him alone, bro? Like, relax. Like,
and that's a great point too, because the other team leads, the people that worked before me, they've actually seen there was another scenario that came up last week where we were just working at the school and we were closing up. It was at the end of the day. We were all putting our tools and everything in our respective vehicle. And I looked to my left. I had my coworker, Logan. I was like, yo, these trash bags here, are we taking these to the dump? He was like, yeah, but it actually looks like the bin that's right next to you is our trash as well. So if you don't mind, put that trash into the bag. I was like, all right, cool. Before I did that, it's funny because his name is Mikey too. But Mikey comes up, snatches the bag off the ground.
Mikey too, 44,
snatches the bags off the ground, starts walking away. I'm like, yo, hold on, Mikey, I'm about to use the lighter bag that's in your hand to put the trash that's in the bag. He's like, well, man, you're just doing a whole bunch of standing around. I don't know why you're standing around, because you really are just standing around, and throws the bag at me. And I'm just...
He's also from New York too, so... So like, they move a little different, even though he's from Syracuse.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. When I first got the job, Lisa was the one that did the hiring and everything. She was preaching, hey, we are a quality over quantity kind of job because of what we do. I'm like, all right, cool. With whatever you do, just take your time. You know, be diligent. As long as the quality is,
you're gonna do it once. You don't want to do it multiple times.
Exactly. Measure it once and cut. What was it saying?
Measure 10 times and cut once.
That type of thing.
You don't have to measure once and cut 10 times.
Right. Yeah, but this guy was just go. We got to get everything done quickly. But we're trying to, us Virginia guys, us guys in general, we're trying to get hours because we don't get guaranteed 40 hours every week. So if we take our time diligently enough, there's no mistakes. The film doesn't look like shit, and then we have good quality work. That way, when quality control comes, or if the teachers, the parents, they all look at the film like, oh, that looks really good, versus somebody looking at it, man, that looks like shit. Who did this? Then they're gonna look at us and be like, hey, X, Y, Z.
Yeah, no, I've definitely increased my empathy as of recently. So any of these moments that he's talking about dealing with this guy Mikey, like it could just be as simple as me, being in the sauna and there's some dude who comes on and it's like his beats are blaring and like we can all hear the music and he's singing on top of it.
That's just it.
And but the moments in the past where I've just judged people on whoever their current selves were.
Right.
Anytime I have any sort of like upgrade in who I am, I just think, okay, well then why wasn't I this person before this upgrade? All the time. That's all of them too.
Exactly.
That's
why I don't blame them.
That's everybody all the time. Because they're where they're at all the time. Period. Like they can't be some hypothetical future version of them that 100%. You've created.
That's what we talked about. We're like, they're like that's just the type of people that they are. So it's just like who they are right now. Yeah. So it's like a lot of times we're just like,
you just gotta cooperate and learn how to collaborate.
You do that and you do that and you kind of give them a lot of leeway. But then you know that you can kind of help them correct that behavior. So you're like, you know what? Sometimes it's like a little corrective measure, and you're the one that has to do it. You're just put in that position where it's like, all right, I gotta be a little stern.
Yeah, I get, but that's what's interesting is like sometimes you can, sometimes you don't want to, sometimes it's probably not socially acceptable for you to do such. You just.
But in this type of field, that's how it's almost like a constant like locker room feel. A lot of males. All of them are trying to assert their little dumbass dominance. The ones who are laid back and chill are like 10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
The ones you that are cool, like that can turn it up if they have to, but they don't.
Let me ask this hypothetical celebrity question to you guys. People always ask celebrities, how do you stay humble? So if you constantly go through life in most people, let's just say, like a high percentage of people that you come into contact with tell you that you're awesome, that you're beautiful, that you're amazing, you're the best thing that they've ever seen, and this is most of what your life is. How do you remain humble inside of that? Sometimes we see people and they have a certain attitude about them, and you can probably quickly tell why they have that attitude about them. You can probably tell, oh well, they've probably lived a certain type of life, like they've probably lived a life where most people say yes to them, or they have constant adulation, a lot of claps, a lot of likes, whatever. What do you think? Because maybe this isn't even something that y'all think about at all, but it's something I've been thinking about.
Oh yeah. It's been happening
what would you have to employ? What system? What components would you have to build within a system to keep yourself humble?
I mean, it's gonna sound crazy, but I don't really have to try. It's just kind of how I'm wired. I take those compliments as like, oh, okay, so the stuff that I'm doing is, and this, I'm moving in the right direction. So I appreciate it.
Do you take it the same weight as an insult? And should a compliment be weighed more than an insult, and vice versa?
Kind of like insults better. I like to know when I have to improve.
Well, there's a difference between an insult and constructive criticism, though.
I like when somebody, if I'm doing something, they're like, "How you doing it like that?" Or they'll notice something I didn't notice. I'm like, "Oh, bet." Like, yeah, like I like knowing when I can improve, where. But like for instance, this whole week, it's been a thing where we're all talking to each other about like what we're gonna see this person in the future, where this person is. Even our foreman's telling us, he's like, "Yeah, Mike gonna be the superintendent. Y'all keep playing," and they're like, "Yeah, he definitely gonna be the superintendent." And I'm laughing and stuff, and I'm like, "Dang, is that how they like?" It's not like it's not an insult. It's like a big compliment. I'm like, "Dang, well, I wonder what I'm doing walking around here to do that." I'm like, "Well, I just gotta keep doing whatever I'm doing because I feel like I'm nowhere near where I need to be." So I just kind of take that as like if you're climbing up a mountain, you kind of take a second to look at like the view, and you're like, "All right, bet that's a long way to go, but I'm still trying to go up there." It's kind of how I take that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like when you set a high bar for yourself, because people will think, like they'll look at you and applaud you for something that you're doing. And you're just like,
I'm just like,
you're like, oh,
I'm like, dang.
I felt like I was failing.
Because that's a good
feeling too.
Because there's a guy, and then one of the guys that said it, like to me, what he does, his brain is a computer. And I'm telling him that I'm like, bro, you got a computer up there. The way you do certain shit, and that's why like when we've been working together for like the past 2 weeks, and I'm like, that's why I kind of just sit back to the side and I just kind of watch you work because I'm picking up on so much shit you're doing. And he's like, oh man, he could tell he doesn't really get that a lot, but he does because we at least we tell him the group we're with now. Wow. So I kind of pick up from everybody around me.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Because I'm always trying to. Like a game character, trying to build the character. I meet these people for a reason. What am I about to learn from this dude?
Yeah,
always.
Oh yeah, that's a good place to be.
Yeah.
I think there's like this sweet spot between success and failure. Yeah. That keeps you in this space of humility. Yeah. Where, like I kind of think that this is the ideal behind God in a sense, is that you're aiming for something that you know that you almost can't achieve. Like the current you just can't quite really conceive it, but you're aiming at it. And so therefore, because you have to be failing every day. You have to.
Bro. For sure.
You have to.
If you don't fail, then how can you learn?
Just based on the format of if you're aiming to be God.
If you're aiming for something,
then you're clearly failing.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So that's what I mean. Like, so But you're succeeding and you're trying. You know, so it keeps you in this really like sort of humble space where you fail every single day.
I like it.
And you're aware that you're failing.
Yeah.
But you're also knowing that you're trying your best.
Yeah.
And you are succeeding in trying.
For sure.
So it just keeps you in this place of just, you know, you heard Pride is the Devil.
Yeah, absolutely.
By J. Cole.
Yeah.
It's like that's an interesting idea is like being prideful about oneself and like that sort of kind of like obscuring what the actual vision is, like what the actual journey is. Like because once you start to take on that pride, you start to think that like you've really done something.
Right.
Shit,
Yeah.
man.
And then
Like,
you start resting on your laurels and then now you're not
Really.
giving the effort that you ought to be giving anymore.
like literally this morning, I had class on Wednesday, so I got changed my alarms based on the day. So Wednesday I took off my normal work alarm, put on my school alarm. Yesterday I woke up before my alarm, didn't really matter. Went to the gym, did a nice long ass training session. We'll talk about that in a second. Shit went crazy. But so I forgot to switch my alarm back and I woke up today late.
Oh.
And after all week of like people, you know, telling me, yeah, you superintendent, like we can see you being that. I know that for a fact that like since I'm always there on time, I schedule my days off. Like if I were to call up in the morning, it would be no big deal at all. But like I woke up late and I was like, it's Friday. And I was like, fuck that, I'm not gonna be late. Like I'm getting there on time. And I got to that bitch like on time, like always.
Sure.
Like I don't know what it is. It's like a game to me. Like, oh, bet I'm about to get there on time today. Fuck that. Because I guess I don't look at those compliments as like, oh, bet I can relax now.
Yeah.
You know, I can slack off a bit.
Yeah. I think the way that I see it, I think I've reached a point in my life where like even with my job, if they say, and that's why I like whenever I ask my leads, like, hey, how am I doing on this? How am I doing on this? You're like, your opinion matters, you know. As long as I'm getting better, I don't feel like as I'm, you know, going through the normal motions, like, you know, this is normal, becoming second nature. But like, am I getting better? Do I feel myself getting better? So I feel like being humble, you know, when they say like, oh man, that piece looks fantastic, like, you know, that kind of boosts up my pride a little bit. Like I take that into account for sure. So I'm just keep doing that, you know, just I finally reached that point in my life where I'm just enjoying the journey, and where I'm failing, you know, I just take that in consideration. Try not to do it again. Just keep improving, keep sharpening, you know, and I'm just enjoying that so much, you know. And K-Dot actually came up with a great quote, said just enjoy the journey, enjoy the losses, enjoy the wins, just enjoy everything that you're going through, because, you know, God put you on this planet for a reason, you know, just keep sharpening who you are. Again, just do you, do the normal you know, enjoy the journey, enjoy you. That's beautiful.
Yeah, you guys are much better at this than I am. I'm just because every time I grow, I'm just immediately embarrassed and humiliated.
Oh, because you're thinking about who you were. You're like, damn.
Yeah,
But
I know that it's like a part of the process. I understand that that's a part of the evolution. Like it's just is.
I guess your response to that as embarrassment. Me, I just laugh at who I was.
Yeah,
Same thing, but I'm just like, yeah. I thought
See,
it was nice.
it's because for mine is I usually look at it as like I could have been better for people around me.
Yeah.
That's what it is for me. So it's not like as light. Like I just feel like, oh, I could have been a better conversational partner for people. I could have like not hogged that conversation. I could have not made this whole situation about me. I could have given them a space to feel more comfortable. I could have like I think about those types of things.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're like LeBron James or something like Peyton Manning watching an old film. Like, yeah, y'all won by 21. He's like, I could have had that one though. It's like, yeah, you could have, but
you did.
Well, yeah, you didn't. But it's like you're not a bad player. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're still a great player.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But it's those qualities that make great players.
Yeah, I know, man.
That's all it is.
I know.
Yeah.
I just be having to have like whole like days of stillness where I'm just like, just thinking about, I don't know, I guess just processing.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
You know,
More like reflection or just
just reflecting on who I was.
Just like phases,
like the things that got me there, like the thought patterns that got me to that place, being that person.
It's just phases almost. It's like seasons. Like I think you have thoughts. We have thought seasons. I really do. I don't think you're supposed to remain in one type of mind state frame of like planning and action forever. You're supposed to, go through your little phases.
You're molting, really.
Yeah.
You're evolving.
Yeah. It's like,
it's a good way to put it.
Yeah, but there's like a phase that I feel like there's certain phases I feel like can be extracted from the, what do you want to call that? The revolving, right? And so like the prideful part of it, where you heavily indulge in your ego, I feel like that doesn't, like that's unnecessary. I feel like that's an unnecessary cog in the wheel that you can extract.
Okay. But it's like, to me, I see it as like, you're reviewing, you're finding mistakes, reviewing, what can I do better, planning. And then you start to like put that into action. And then once you start, now you're not really reviewing anymore. You're just practicing, how you're going to correct those mistakes. Then you're in that stage of, like I'm moving, I'm rocking.
Right.
You start realizing, damn, I'm good. Like I'm chilling. Then you start to get into the phase where you start thinking about back again. Like, you go back again. Now you're looking at new things to review. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you're constantly it's like a game. However long it takes you, each game for you is it 3 months? Is it 4 months? You're just building your character.
Yeah.
Do you think that ADHD plays a part in that too? Like if you just overthink it too much?
I don't know. It could.
I do think that I don't know about the ADHD thing you put in, but I do think that there is an overthinking factor to things that I've definitely played a part in. Because there's this weird natural inclination that humans seem to have to other people. To other people. And I thought that for a long time I wasn't doing that, because most of the time the way I see that done is through racism or through some political division and things of that nature. That's usually
very like in your face.
Yeah, like, but there are like other ways to other people. And I think like you can see yourself as superior in other ways. And see other people as inferior. And then when you start to do that, you are now creating a division between yourself and other people.
I'm always conscious when that's happening too.
Yeah, see.
I'm always conscious.
I haven't always been conscious of that.
Really?
I was just like sort of other people in that way, and then later on just had to have been humiliated in order to like realize we're just all doing the same thing.
But I mean, it's part of it though. Even recognizing it is a dub.
Yeah, that's why I'm not. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm not a huge fan of these compliments.
You know what I'm saying?
No. I gotta.
I've noticed that about you. You're not really.
But that's why I have to be like very, very aware of. That's why for me, like presence seems to be like a religion I can get with.
Mindfulness.
Okay.
Right. Because I don't think that there's any room for me to not be paying attention to every single thing that is happening around me in my immediate proximity. Like I don't think there's any room, because like I'm going to misstep and do some dumb shit. Like if I am just not like I need to be, so I don't. So that's why I haven't been doing things that take my mind away from the moment. Like I'm just doing things that just ground me. I haven't been taking part of any intoxicants whatsoever, because I don't trust myself to not be here.
I feel you.
Like I just don't. I don't.
No, I feel you. But I'm saying I've seen this process play out, and you're in that like the review stage, and then you hit another breakthrough, and then you have another epiphany, and you're like, damn, now I see something a certain way. And then you kind of apply that to your life going forward. And then that stage, you slowly walk yourself out of that reviewing, and you're not even thinking about the past, because you're so focused on how you're rocking with the future then.
Yeah, like for instance,
Seen that.
like I thought, like this is interesting. Like I've thought that I've been a good communicator for a long time. Like I thought that I've been like a good like conversational partner. Let me say, like a conversational partner for a long time.
You know why?
Right? That's what I've thought until recently.
See, but
partner.
Yeah.
Right? Not someone that can like just, you know, string words together, or someone that can put together a bunch of complex ideas, right, and then record it. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being a good conversational partner to someone else. Yeah, I don't think that I've been doing that for a very long time.
So I'm telling you, it's just like if I were to give you right now the best camera on this planet and be like, yo, look at this camera.
Okay.
This shit is fire, right? This is the best. You'd be like, yeah, that camera is fucking fire, dog.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, now watch this. And then I put the camera on the table and then we go like through this door and we press a button and we jump ahead 15 years. And they're like, yo, here's the best camera. You're going to be like, oh shit. I thought that the camera I just had was the best. It was the best camera of what it was. So now that you see what you can be, you're looking at yourself in the past like, yo, I was trash. Just because you see what you can be.
Yeah.
So you weren't trash just because you could have been this. You
said, you keep saying that about the pod. You're just like, yeah, it's always going to be trash. Like, you're always going to look back.
We're going to look back on it and we're just going to think, oh, damn, that was trash. Because what it is now. But that's a great way to do it. Because the only way to... At any point, is it actually trash? Like, there's got to be trash. Right? Or is there just no trash? Like, there's... Trash doesn't exist. It's just relative to where you're at.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just relative to who you are while you're looking at it, while you're listening to it. That's what it is. But then you can go back and you notice, you're like, nah, that joint was actually fire. I was tripping. I see. I mean, I'm better now, but
you see the developments, like you see the
bits and pieces.
You see the bits and pieces that were like coming through. I think about this like in you know, when it comes to self-development, it's just growth. And when it comes to artists in particular, I don't know if you saw the Lil Baby documentary.
I did.
Yeah, that joke was fire.
But there's this moment that artists have that has interested me for a long time.
Yeah.
Where I see it in comedy, I've seen it in music, you know. And if you just like listen to artists talk, like they'll drop gems, but you have to be like listening to them about like, what their process has been like. So for like Lil Baby, he's rapping, and he's not terrible.
They were showing him on that stage. It was just like
he was just like, you know, a drug dealer that started rapping. Like he was, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't bad. He had swag because he'd always been like the cool guy where he came from, right? He'd already been living like a rapper.
Yeah.
But then there was like
they showed
there was like a song. There was like he was dropping songs, and then then the next song that came out,
like, oh, that's Lil Baby, and he was like, he got it, he got it now.
And my whole thing is, what the fuck is that? That is the most interesting thing to me that exists. That moment for an artist or for a person that like finds them is like the weirdest thing, because no one can show you how to do it because it's you. So like no one can teach you like how to get there. It's the weirdest fucking thing. But like when it happens and you just snap in and now you're in this groove.
To me,
that's so wild.
Yanni's hitting one of those grooves right now.
I'm trying to figure. I want to talk to these people. I want to be like, what happened? Because why is no one asking these questions? Does anyone ask these questions when they do interviews with these people? Is no one like asking this question? Like, hey, at that moment,
they kind of are.
Like, what do you think happened? What were you experiencing? What were you practicing in life? What did you see? What did you hear? Like, what made you make the song this way as opposed to, bro? I'm gonna say his name. There's an artist that him and I know.
Okay.
His name is Sufi Hamilton.
Oh yeah, he's a dog.
Has he always been a dog?
What kind of?
No, he wasn't.
What kind of artist?
I'm going to let
Mikhail and Sylvia told me that. Like, yeah.
I'm going to let you listen to some music. First of all, you're going to like it. I already know that, but for your taste, you're going to like it.
What
he does like.
It's almost like the beats are kind of like almost like house music a little bit, but almost kind of like an 80s feel in a way.
Oh, okay.
He's real vibey.
Very vibey.
Yeah, he's real vibey.
Okay, but he be singing, bro. Yeah.
Okay.
But he be flipping words.
But
yo.
now I listened to whatever album that was. I think it was called like Member or something like that. But it was the one that had Earth Angel on there, Baby Girl's on there, Tiramisu's on there.
This past year, I was going through that album heavy. All of a sudden, them joints started hitting different.
Bro. Now, the lady and I would listen to those. I think it was like one summer or whatever. Like we was just listening to them joints. We'd be on the way to a hike or something. We'd be listening to them joints. Like we know all the words of a few of the songs. Right? It's like, you see, just even like that. Like it's just like that.
It's like music you can like skate to.
Yeah.
Rollerblade to. Like
Oh yeah. I can get behind that for sure.
You just want to skate like on a beach somewhere, bro. Just rocking. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the vibe I've always taken, bro.
You left it at Hill.
I be so fucking happy when I'm listening to his songs, bro.
It's music you can skate to. Yeah. That's the perfect the way the picture he just painted was like picture.
Yeah,
I mean it was perfect. Like being on the beach skating for sure. Sunset. Like yeah. Nice, warm, breezy weather. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Summer vibes.
That's so funny. That's exactly what it is.
That's what
So then I was interested. So I decided I would go backwards.
Yeah.
Did you ever go backwards?
Yes. It's not the same. He found the pocket.
It's not the same. It's not even close.
Yeah, he found his pocket.
It's not even close. First of all, he was doing a completely different thing.
I wonder if it has to do with what he's listening to at the time too. Because he's making a lot of his own beats too.
Yeah, I think I've seen like videos.
So he probably just got in that groove like, I fuck with this now. And it just went perfect with what it was much easier for him to just maybe not think as much and just let that shit rock naturally.
That's fire.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
Instead of sitting down to a beat and like trying to come up with something.
Yeah.
You know, you just kind of get whatever you like and you're just like, this don't just go.
Yeah, you just made a great point. You just made a great point because there's a difference between like forcing something and then actually being in the groove of that. You know, that's beautiful. When you're in your element, when you're in your groove. Yeah, and
he probably like, I'm gonna just stay in it. I'm gonna just 'cause I know which music makes me feel like that.
Basketball is kind of the same way too.
Like stay like that.
You're in that flow state. Yeah, you're in that fucking flow state for sure.
Versus like trying to, like I told you, I'll listen to my mind. I'll just be like, what's in my head already instead of trying to force a sound. Like, I'll just go listen. Oh, I hear that in my head. Let me just put that on. I don't know where I'm going with it. And eventually it takes me to a place I'm like, oh, I didn't even know I'd end up here with that.
Right.
Dang, I didn't even have that idea, but that led me to this song, which led me to that song, which put me to this. I'm like, dang, this kind of goes.
I love that.
Maybe something subconscious that you just let your subconscious do its job.
Yeah.
Let that junk flow.
That's weird that some people have a proclivity to do that.
What, just being in a flow state?
Yeah, some people are better about, because I don't know if like you have to do it a lot in order to gain like an intuition for it so then you can relax. Or some people just start like, I looked up dictionary.com the other day. The word of the day was wonderkind. That just means like a child prodigy.
I think it has to.
But when someone's young and they just pick up, I remember being in like a music and art center, and this guy came in and just picked up a guitar, a young kid.
That's generational talent.
And he just started playing the guitar, and it was like bluesy, and it shit was amazing. And I was like, hey man, how long you been playing? He was like, oh, I've never played before. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, no, I just picked it up. But he was like, well, I'm just trying to feel it out. And I was like,
that's wild.
I think, and he wasn't trying to impress anybody.
No, but he
was
just
playing what he would like,
proclivity. Yeah, but like that,
his brain was saying,
but that natural proclivity to just like want to just like to feel something out.
It's in your
as
mind.
opposed to trying to make it something.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
This is just
that some people have that muscle to relax. Right, more than others.
Yeah, and I think it has a lot to do with like, are you trying to make something you think people will like, versus are you just making what you like?
What you like,
just make what you like.
There is a very good book called Beyond Order by Jordan B. Peterson. You've heard me talk about him before. He's a clinical psychologist. In one of the chapters was responsibility. No, he said opportunity lurks where responsibility has been abdicated, and that idea is just that there are pockets for opportunity where other people have just like walked past or haven't had interest in. But if like you want to make or you want to put out what you would like, you know, so if like you're an artist, there's something in your head that you would like to see out there, instead of just saying like, man, I wish like so-and-so would make some music like this. I wish like they would do it.
Oh, for sure.
Like you can be like, well, maybe just do it. Maybe I can do it.
Yep.
Maybe I can make it. Maybe I can make the sound of the thing that I'm like waiting for someone else to make.
That's what I want to hear. I want to hear that so bad.
Yeah.
Just make it.
Instead of just waiting for your favorite artist to do it.
Yeah, like you can do it instead.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
If you like it, just listen to it yourself. You're listening to music that you like.
And see, so now is this next segment here, we'll call it, is like you. What is the? I've gotten okay with the idea that everything good on this planet, every good decision, you can't make them all because you only got but a finite amount of time here, right? So what I mean by that is you just have to make decisions and have resolve in that decision and be like, this is the life that I chose to live. Like that's what that is.
No regret whatsoever.
So it's like doing this versus doing this with your time. Listening to music or whatever the thing is that you feel like grants you inspiration versus not doing so and allowing this thing to kind of birth itself. Now, I've heard that Lil Wayne has famously not listened to a lot of new music when trying to come up with an album. I think I heard that from Drake. Whilst other people will constantly listen to other music whilst they're trying to make a new album. Do you make music, so I can actually ask you this on a music level. What is your, well, I guess you're making music with other music, so
it's phases. It's just phases. I'm dead ass just like I don't force a thought. Because you know a lot of thoughts come from the subconscious. It's doing its. I let it do its job, and I'm trying to listen to what it's telling me. And I'm like, oh, so today I'm going to listen to this track that I did yesterday. I'm going to listen to it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And then maybe I don't listen to it for like 4 weeks. Maybe I don't listen to nothing for 3 weeks. Then I'm just like, what kind of new music is coming out of Atlanta today? I don't know. Let's see. It's just a flow state. I just keep myself in just a very open-minded. I don't tell myself that I have to do anything. I just kind of just let the thinking go. Let it just play itself out. And then I'll have that like thought of like, I want to know what this sounds like. I don't know why I want to know what this sounds like. I just want to start with something like lately it was the ring ding dong, ring ding ding dong. Yeah, split that joint up. Yeah, and then found one of the Wu-Tang's old ones and threw that little hook on top of that, and I was like, damn, this shit goes crazy. And then, yeah, maybe I do something with it, maybe I don't.
It's interesting when artists start like a Kendrick. I know people have said that Eminem was a huge inspiration to him, and that if you listen to it, some people can hear like Eminem in him early on, and they're like a lot of artists like that. And so it's always interested me. It's like is there a point when you have to like sort of pull back on what you're intaking so that you stop sounding like something else? You know,
I can see that.
Yeah. And like allow it to be more of an original thing that arises within you. Yeah. As opposed to just like constantly listening to other stuff and trying to make a rendition of that.
Yeah, because there's definitely times when like I could see where I used to think like that I had to listen to a certain type of music to find those ideas. And then I realized, no, that's just the type of music that popped into my head. I don't have to listen to anything. If I think about country music, I'll just go find a country music playlist or some jazz or some goddamn just pianos being played.
Country is so hard. I like folk. Like I've gotten into folk, and folk is really, really fun. Like this band Red Clay Strays. Yeah. Amazing album that came out in 2023. really good.
The homie 2 Feet. Like, I was.
Oh yeah, the alternative that was really good. But like when somebody tries to put me on a country, like I just like listen to it and immediately I'm like, like it's
not hitting.
It's just
certain.
As soon as it like starts, I'm like like I just can't even. And that's the only genre I've felt like that. Like I've listened to blues, jazz, all sorts of neoclassical stuff.
I'm telling you.
It's all these other things, but like as soon as like country hits and it's like
I think it's because not a lot of it is as neatly laid out mathematically. Because to me, music is math. It's just certain beats with certain words or no words, just things happening at a very particular pattern.
I feel the same about like rock, punk rock, and all that heavy metal.
Punk rock wasn't for you?
Nah, I don't think
I did some punk rock. Punk rock is cool. Heavy metal, I didn't
heavy
get
metal too.
Oh, I did a few, like some of the ones on Rock Band. Those were fun.
There's some ones out there. They just find little pockets of parts of the songs, and you're just like, dang, somebody's really playing that.
For sure. Oh no,
I'm just like,
don't get me wrong. I don't want to take away from like the ability that anyone has.
No.
Bro,
there's some computers
when you
out there.
hear,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm just like, that's crazy.
Bro, when you hear people play guitar or drums for like metal bands, you're like, that's a human? That's not a computer?
Yeah.
Like that's
my joint can't process.
like,
it's like they had the extra fingers for playing. They got extra arms and feet to play the drum. I'm just like, that's crazy.
That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like,
it's
so wild.
insane.
Yeah.
The drum patterns?
Yeah.
I'm like, you're just playing this for 7 minutes straight?
I've seen it in person when I was still in Harrisonburg, like way back. One of the dudes that I was working with was in a heavy metal band, and so he went to one of his like shows. It was like in the basement of a house, and they be on that shit like the shit is not fake. They be crushing that shit. I'm like, damn,
it is not.
Yeah,
fake.
like you might think that they might just like record the best part and then loop it. Nah,
like they're playing it the whole time.
And I'm just like, damn, nigga, it's nice. Everybody in the crowd's kind of like, excited. Yeah. I'm just like, yo, these niggas is nice.
Yeah, it's different when you're like an outsider. And like you're seeing something. Yeah, and you like you get to really appreciate it. Yeah, that's what like Von Marie says about like one of my aunts. She was like, you guys don't appreciate her anymore. She's like, she's so weird.
I know you're talking about.
Like my aunt Pam, she's like, y'all don't appreciate her. And it's funny because there's this saying, my friend Uzima told me, which I think in Swahili, it translates to something like, the people closest to you can't see you or something like that, which pretty much means that they no longer appreciate the things about you that other people are going to appreciate, but that's more so new people are gonna. It's gonna be novel to them. They're gonna see you. They're gonna be like, oh, but the people at your house are not like, oh damn, Mikey does this thing. Like
everybody knows
because they just they know you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean already.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like a different point. Like they see things, but they also see things that could be better about you. The other people don't really see so much of that.
Right.
Yeah. But actually, that's kind of back to that celebrity question. Is a lot of the answer is stay close to people that know you.
Mm-hmm. That was like
not just the people that come and just give you adulation because you're a novelty to them. Like the people that have been around you, so they can be like, hey, you ain't like you cool, but like don't, but like relax, you cool. Like I fuck with you.
I ain't like you cool, nigga, but
like chill out.
Everybody keep an RJ around you. You know what I'm saying,
bro?
Keep RJ around you. All right, RJ gonna let you know.
That's so funny that like just me saying those words, like he came straight to your mind because that's who I was trying to emulate. Like. I love RJ, man. RJ is one of the best people we have.
Yeah.
Protect RJ at all costs.
Shout out to RJ.
Yeah, you gonna keep you humble.
Yeah, I feel like that happened to RJ, and I wanted to talk to him about it because I've like thought because RJ used to be a very different person. And
yes.
You know that. Like,
remember, we used to try to bully him into being kind of who he is now. Me and Duty particularly.
Oh,
remember?
You mean into being like more assertive?
Kinda.
But he's also, he will stand up for himself absolutely in a way that he wouldn't in the past. Yeah. But he's also far more like dormant. He's just like very docile. He's very soft spoken now.
Don't poke the bear.
Like
Don't poke the bear.
he still loves it. Like enjoy people that he knows around him and all that. But he's very docile version than who he was high school, and like fresh out of high school.
All of us too, though. But yeah, definitely all of us.
Yeah, but I feel like more so. Maybe it's because of the Well, no, because that YouTube. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he just seems so much softer. So like his voice just seems so much softer now. Even, but is that all of us too?
Yeah,
damn.
Yeah, it is. They what did RJ said on one of the pods he did? He gonna text me say this nigga talking like he like Morgan Freeman or some shit, like soft spoken ass thing. And I was like, damn, dog. Like this nigga talking. He's like, I forget exactly how he said it. But he was frying how
He's talking about me?
No, me.
Oh, you.
Yeah. He was frying me how I was talking. He was like this old soft spoken ass thing. And I was like,
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's one of those people. I feel like he's, tapped into some humility, like some deep humility. Mm-hmm. That's admirable.
Yeah.
I think it's good to have friends around that like you can look around and be like, I admire many qualities about this person.
Yeah.
Like I wish that I had learned that quicker. It's just funny that people learn things quicker than other people.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're talking about here, that some people have a proclivity towards certain things that like other people just, it takes them a little bit more like lessons for that to settle in. Mm-hmm. It's like, damn, this motherfucker got it on the first try.
That's just how it is.
Why does it come so easy to him? Like, why did that just seem so easy? Like, but I just keep fucking running into this wall over and over again.
Man, that was funny as hell. The last pod that got dropped when y'all were talking about, you were like, yeah, Earl, just the what's the word for it? Like the
with Valerie and Nick?
Yeah. When y'all were talking about like the possibility of like you cheating and like how it sounded so crazy. And I was just laughing because I was like, that's true. It would be such a crazy thought. But it's even funnier because like if you step back just like 10 years, like it would be crazy for him to be in a relationship. So it's just like you'd be
it
looking
would
at
just be crazy to not cheat.
Yeah, like to not cheat. Yeah, you would be in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like
it would be, like it's like nothing bad would have to happen for that to be the case. Like nothing out of whack would have to be happening in order for me to like, just be trying to figure out how to scheme.
Right. Yes. Like you have some schemer Hall of Fame type of moves. All right, you definitely do have some schemer Hall of Fame moves, and it's just crazy that like you would never think, like you know what I'm saying. Those two people like are so far on the spectrum, like just so damn far.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
That is funny.
Yeah. Anything nowadays that. Anything that were to come up, you can believe that her and I've had some sort of conversation about it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, you can believe that.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Makes sense.
Definitely. Because
I had like kind of forgot. To the point where I was just like, damn, Earl did used to be out here. Like you just forget.
Yeah, I try to like think back to like when I became a real dirtbag. You know what I mean? Just try to think like what was the catalyst? Like what was going on? You know, and I think it's like you trying to formulate who you are in the world, and I think that there's this.
Yeah, you're just trying to find your little.
When things are normalized, or when you have adulation for your shortcomings, like say you treat women poorly, and men around you often pat you on the back and say you're the man for doing that.
Yes.
But like, man, you're dope. Like you're the man. Like look at you for doing what you do. And people say that to you often.
All the time.
You're clearly being reinforced. Those are the closest people to you in life. You think that what you're doing is tight, and like you're young and impressionable.
So we were 16, 17, maybe 15. And we don't know who the fuck we are at all. And so everybody's trying to figure out who the fuck am I? Where am I gonna fit in at? So you have all these other people kind of telling you who you are. So you're like, all right, but this is who I am. I gotta be this person. But like looking back on it, these were like 16-year-olds telling you who you are. Like, bruh, you know what I'm saying? Like,
The blind leading the blind.
yeah. So like, you're just becoming this dumbass idea created by dumbass people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then once you spread away from like, and you're like, all right, wait a minute, like this can't be it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what happens to a lot of people is they stick to that.
I think
that's why
it's
they end up
very,
looking
very
crazy.
tough. It's not looking
They start looking crazy.
It's very tough to unlearn things. You know, to start working the opposite way, to like
Rewiring the brain.
rewiring the brain.
That is tough.
You know, like, yeah, man, trying to just take away all these patterns. All these patterns. Like, if you've done something, let's bring it to basketball. Like, if you've shot the basketball 5,000 times
All right, look here.
and you shot it with terrible form
Yes.
5,000 times, and
Hey.
then someone comes in like, hey man, why are you shooting the basketball that way? Like, you should really like tuck your elbow in.
Bruh.
You know how difficult it's gonna be for you to get a good shot?
Sean Marion.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
that nigga shot was awful.
He probably could have been a lot better. Okay, he would have been a lot better if one nigga would have been like, "Hey, look, I know you."
What team was he on?
Mavs, I think. Yeah,
It was the man.
yeah. He would be a lot better. Like, I know we were in the league, dog. But
That nigga shot was terrible, bro.
bruh.
He was in the league. He was,
You know what I'm saying?
but that wasn't. Yeah, he just had like the isosceles triangle, sort of, just like a little kid.
Just throw the ball.
That was interesting that he got in the NBA doing it. That he was able to play basketball for so long.
Think about how nice he could have been.
before, like, because no one,
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, he
no
good.
coach he had was like, hey man, we not
Yeah,
gonna
he's
do
good
that no
enough.
more.
He's good enough."
He would not slide in today's NBA, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
That's so
'cause we got
interesting.
Victor Wembanyama's, got freaking,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah,
Is there anyone in the NBA now that you know of that just has a ridiculous looking shot,
a lot of people.
that, but and is good at the same time?
Yeah.
Uh,
'Cause They do a lot of other things besides that thing.
yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's hard to just be like, all right, well, I guess I don't went the wrong way. Like, now I gotta go back this way, like, and work for the next year or 2 years to be at neutral before I even get over to the positive side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very true.
That's like life being a journey is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Really, but that's
So-
because you just get another day to get better.
And so, therefore, I come to the mantra of, I'm sorry. I thank you for the current and hopefully future opportunities to be better. Every moment is delicate and requires all of me. I understand that now.
That's dope.
Yeah. Takes a lot to try to move the other
does.
way. I get just like not wanting to do that shit. Just being like, man, fuck that. This kid was asking me at work the other day. He's 19 years old, and he was like, he had kind of like lashed out at me. There was a competition. It was like, as you're going down the rows in a restaurant, and someone that it's not your party that you're taking care of, but someone else's, and you see that they have a credit card on the table ready to pay the bill, you pick up the bill anyway.
Oh, okay.
And either because we all have access to each other's numbers in the center, so like you can run
I
someone
can run
else's
them for you.
Yeah, you can run my credit card or credit card for someone that a family I'm taking care of, and I can do that for you.
Yeah.
Or if you don't have time, you can still pick it up and give it to someone else that could, or something like that.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is they shouldn't just be sitting there waiting to pay. Like, we have enough people, we have enough staff. Like, just let's get these people in and out of here.
Right. Yeah. You want
That's the
service.
Revenue.
Yeah.
That's all restaurant it is. Burn and turn.
And just get them out. Get them out. Get them in.
Turning
Get 'em out.
tables.
Get them out. Get them in.
And so the competition was whoever has the most amount of checks that they've picked up for other people, right? And you go and show the manager you picked up someone else's check, then you'll get like a free meal.
Oh, okay.
This person was extremely competitive.
I was going to say, because that sounds like a good incentive because it wouldn't get too crazy. But
But I'm about to walk down the road. There's this person just like, hey man, like, come on man, like, don't go down this road. Like, I'm waiting on this table to like get this thing, and I'm just like, whatever. I just like walk past, and like as soon as I was walking past the table, they put the credit card down, and I was just like, I'll take care of this for you, and kept walking. He came up to me, he was just like, bro, come, I know you're not fitting to do this right now. He was like, I know that you're not going to. Like you stole that from me. Like you're stealing this from me. I would have.
Hey dog, I'm like, dog, do you need some money? Like, is everything all right over there?
Well, keep this in mind. 19 years old.
Yeah.
Right. So
he's just getting to the restaurant game.
Put yourself in the perspective of your 19-year-old self. I mean, but I wouldn't have done that at 19.
But what I'm saying is like, but I know how it gets. I know how that life gets. For some of them, how they fuel themselves.
Well, this person, because I don't think most other people would be like that, because no one else is like calling a table and just like, I'm going to get to that table. It's like when it comes up, and whoever gets to it, gets to it. Yeah. Right? Like that's really the game. Like whoever gets to it, gets to it.
But I'm saying like,
you can't call a table and be like, don't go to that one. Like I'm calling it for when they do put the credit card down. But yes, in a restaurant, people are pocket watching heavy. If that's more so what you're talking about. No,
I'm talking about he might be doing things to keep himself going. He might live
I see what you're saying.
Live an expensive lifestyle.
No, but there are most certainly people that
I learned some.
The food and beverage industry is very high on intoxicants. Yes, for sure.
I learned
to deal with people constantly, the social anxiety of it, the financial stress of having to rely on people giving you money, and if they don't, then you short on rent, like whatever the case is. So like people and then just the days, like you're gonna work a 10-hour day, maybe you're gonna work a 14-hour
day. You might
be
there for a little while.
You know what I mean? So you might do a little tooting,
a little tooting, or the hard tooting, bro. The hard. No, it ain't but they got that hard in there. They got that hard that rock.
I don't know if people should smoking the rock.
Niggas was tweaking in Salamander though. Niggas was
the rock.
You never know, bro. You never know.
You never know. Listen, you never know. I learned some shit this week about people from the last project I had just left, because the guy I'm working with, he was also at that project. And a whole different company too. We ended up at the same company through our transfers, but there were like some well-respected people that were smoking crack daily while at work, and I was like,
daily,
what? And he's like, he's not like exaggerating. He's knowledgeable. Like he's like, nah, man. Like I saw it. Like he was crack. I was like, yo, and I. They don't look like a phone. They don't look like they. But now that I think about it, I'm like. Because you know how you learn that some people had smoked crack, they like function like crackhead celebrities. Yeah. Like in Wolf of Wall Street, that they smoke a little crack. I was like, yo, really? It's like, yeah, man.
They do a lot of things to kind of keep equilibrium, like a lot of uppers and downers and things like that.
And it's just crazy because like, I just didn't think that
people did that.
No, I know that it's a wild trade, but I didn't know like how. Like they're good. They are very high functioning. Like learning about certain people. Some people you can tell. Okay, boom, 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 but they're like high up. Like one of like the company's very well respected workers. Gets their job done. But he's also cool as hell. Yeah, cool dude. Yeah, I'm talking. And I'm like, damn, I didn't know. He was like, yeah, bro. Like he did some hard time too. And I was like, I can kind of see that. And then it's got me thinking things. So you just don't know what anybody's doing when they leave these. When they leave this.
I mean, think about your life. Like when people meet you today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when people talk to me, like I give off a very polite person is what people tell me, and so they. Like I'll sometimes like there have been the times where like I'll curse, I'll say a curse word, and people be like, "Whoa, like, for real? I wouldn't have saw that out of you." Or like, or they're
Keon gonna say.
So just imagine,
like, say you out here code switching.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
You know, Keon's gonna say, he's gonna say you out here code switching.
But there's just like people do not know you.
No.
They don't know you. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know none of that. So the point I was getting at is he started snapping, like you stole this, and I'm just like, yo, listen, I'm like, are you afraid of the competition? Like, are you here to compete?
You don't know what I meant to world.
And he was just like, what are you afraid of what? Like, he was just I'm just saying, you stole that. Like I just don't understand why you do that.
Oh, you started poking at his ego.
And I was just like, you know what?
Wait a minute.
I was like, have this. I gave him the credit cards. He was just like, love you, man. Thank you. Ran off.
Wait. So,
but it was interesting because as the night continued, he was clearly very. He was not okay with that moment, and he came back to me, and he was just like, "All right,
you know what?
I let the competitive nature in myself get
at least he recognized it.
Yeah. He was like, I'm sorry about that." He walked off.
At least he recognized it.
He came back again 20 minutes later. He was like, "Do you dislike me now? Like,
bro,
is it, you know what I mean?"
I'm telling you right now.
I was just like,
I know a fiend when I hear one.
I was,
I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now.
I was like,
that's all it is.
No, I don't. No, I don't dislike you. He was like, but do you care for me less?
So many emotions.
He's like, do you care for me less than what you did before? And he was like, or are you indifferent towards me? I was like, I'd probably say that. Probably. And he was like, oh. Just whatever. And then he walked away. It seemed hurt that I chose indifferent. Came back 30 minutes later.
Okay.
And he was like, all right. He was like, I think it's about the word steal. He was like, I think, maybe, he was like, I don't want you to hate me. But I feel like because I used the word steal, maybe that was harsh. And I'm like, listen, I understand where you're coming from. You don't need to further investigate this.
Yeah,
there isn't a thing going on. Mm-hmm. I don't know you, but this has helped me know you a bit more. Mm-hmm. Now I know what it's like when you don't get your way. I know what it's like when you don't get your way. Like this.
You basically, did you say those words?
Yes.
Oh, you just call me. You're a baby.
I was like, I don't know what set of circumstances molded you into the person you are right now, but I just now for the first time got to see you not get your way, and I see how you responded.
So I'm guessing getting free meals as a server there is not normal at all.
Yeah, you usually are paying at a discount. At a discounted rate.
Very good discount.
It's like 45 or something like that.
Oh, yeah, it's excellent.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but to get it for free is great. When you can get some really good food, you can get a nice salmon salad or some, it's great. So you're ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
But then it goes even further because then 30 minutes after that.
Listen.
He says, listen, I have a question. He says, I still feel like a boy. He's like, listen, I'm 19. I feel like a boy. I don't feel, I just feel like a dude. He was like, but has there been a point where you've reached where you feel like you've made it? And at this point in time, I'm really invested in what he's saying now because one, he's a young person asking this question, which I think is very awesome.
Yeah.
And he seemed like he was really inquisitive, like he really wanted the answer to this.
Yeah.
When do you arrive? When do you feel like you arrive? And I told him, I was like, I'll tell you what. Right, but when did you remember hearing that for the first time? That you don't? Do you remember when that was?
Sometime in the mid-20s.
All right, so he's 19.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, this moment that you had today where you did something, you lashed out, you sat with it, you realized it, you felt terribly about it to the point where you've had to come back to me multiple times in the night to talk to me about it. Mm-hmm. Right, apologizing. Mm-hmm. One, this is all great that you're processing these feelings and you're coming back and you're trying to have a one-on-one. He wasn't trying to make it a spectacle. He was trying to have a one-on-one conversation with an older gentleman.
I respect that.
Right? I respect everything that you did up to this point.
Yeah.
I'm like, that moment that you had, I have it all the time.
Yeah.
I have it all the time. I was like, and I think that when you aim high, you'll never stop having those moments. I think that you're always going to look back and just be like, damn, I misstepped there. Misstepped there. All right, misstepped there. And he was like, yeah, but by that logic, then you never reach it though. Like you never settle in. And I was like,
the work's never just done. Like,
and he was like, what?
Yeah.
He was like, think about it. He said, what?
You just blew them off.
He was like, are you okay with that?
Yeah.
And I was like, I think that you have to be if you're going to try to achieve the best version of you.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you just have to be.
Yeah.
Yes. You had to be wired a certain way.
What percentage of people? This is a wild question because we're all going to be wrong. Do you think are thinking about things in these terms, like
percentage
of just like trying to get like trying to aim high, like and that's something near the forefront of their mind. Like, how am I acting today? Maybe trying to reflect at different points in the day. How did I treat those people that I spoke to? Like, what am I doing?
I think the numbers are growing.
Okay.
Now, the reason why they might start off with that thinking might not be because of the best of circumstances, in the sense of they might be trying to, keep up with the crowd, the whole self-motivation, hustle type culture. So they're starting off for the wrong reasons, but they end up getting to that way.
Yeah.
So it's like, doesn't matter how they got there, at least they're there.
Yeah.
I think the numbers are growing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of, even with gym shit, like a lot of people now are moving towards that. Doesn't it feel like that?
Yeah.
Overall?
Yeah.
Like,
fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's probably how it started for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because I see it a lot.
The gym thing, I feel like
not the gym thing.
It's
like the
I know, but even that, like, I don't know if that's a skewed thought. It's tough sometimes when you're a part of it, because I don't think that obesity is going down. But I think that when you're a part of a community, you think that a lot of people are doing something.
Well, I just see it through like the people who I interact with now, because 3 years ago when I was first getting in, there wasn't a lot. Now it's a lot of people.
So you think that maybe Americans are like their health is increasing?
I wouldn't say
through exercise, not through diet.
I wouldn't say that their health is increasing through exercise. I would say that more people are thinking about it and trying to do something.
Yeah,
I agree.
Probably because there's so many. I could get on board with that.
I think they don't want to get left behind. They're like, okay, I have to do this.
I think also because there's just like so many different things you can do.
Yeah, I think people are looking around like, okay, well, if they're gonna do it, then I'll do it too.
I think that also ties into like a lot of people just wanting to be an NPC, man.
You said just not wanting to be an NPC?
No, wanting to be. Because they
wanting to be a non-playable character?
Yeah, they just want to keep up. Oh, what's this person doing? Oh, I got to keep up with them.
That's what I'm saying.
This is the norm. I got to keep up with that all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's just, what do you want to do? Fuck what this person's doing.
Yeah.
What do you want to do in your life?
That show, The Sandman, that I talked about from Netflix, it was like the Sandman is the king of the dream world. And there was this guy trying to tear apart people's dreams. Like
I started that, yeah.
And he was saying to them, he was like, that people are, because he wanted the world to be truthful. The guy that was like the villain kind of, he like wanted the world to be truthful. He's like, everyone's lying. Everyone's always fucking lying about who they are and what they're doing and all this. So he was trying to rid the world of lies. And in doing so, ridding the world of lies created just hard truth. And hard truth just created sex and murder.
Did you ever watch
But the Sandman was just like, what you don't understand about lies is that they're actually dreams. Is that people's dreams are lies, if that's the way you want to look at it. Like people are trying to dream of a different future.
Yeah.
So you say that they're lying to themselves and they're lying to other people. That's one way to look at it, but they're dreaming of something, and you have to allow people to dream in order to achieve something.
Sure.
So it may start as a lie, if that's the way you want to look at it.
Right.
But it is just a dream for their future selves.
Yeah. Listen, bro. Like I've seen it in like teachers.
Get you some water. I got you.
I've seen it in like teachers. And every school that I go to is different. But like all the teachers that I've had conversations with, and it wasn't really like on a a necessarily intellectual level. We didn't really get that deep. It's just, it was always surface level, like, thank you, sir.
The mason jaw. Got that prohibition glass.
There was a lot of times with these teachers that I've run into, like, oh man, don't become a teacher. Like, man, these kids are fucking terrible. Like, I will say, today's generation is ruined because of social media.
I was getting ready to get to the point if they turned off social media, don't you think a lot more people would stop trying to be healthier?
A lot more people would stop trying to be healthier.
They can just more focus on themselves instead of doing what the next person's doing.
I mean, it's funny that it came.
Oh, wait, hold on, maybe I misunderstood this. If they turned it off,
a lot of people would stop.
And no, but you're saying the opposite. You're saying that if they turned it off, more people would go out. And so that's kind of the
No. He's saying the same thing I'm saying. He's saying a lot of people are doing it just because they see everybody doing it.
Right.
Yeah. So I was saying, like, it's a funny way to start that process, but I mean, at least you're here now.
Yeah.
Because they got taking the pictures while they're there, and
things.
Take your shirt off for the pump. That type of
things
stuff.
don't always start with like the best intentions, but like, you get around. Yeah, that was me in exercise. It didn't start for the best intentions. I was going on a model cruise and I was trying to look jacked.
See,
so
but it got you,
and it got me going. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I thought about that with the podcast.
Okay.
Because they're like. There were moments when I had to take a break because I didn't know.
Yeah, like last year.
Yeah, I didn't really know like what I was doing it for at a point in time. It sort of seemed like to me that I was just putting out episodes. I didn't really know like
you felt obligated to.
Yeah, because I put out episodes.
I gotta get episode out.
I have a podcast. Like
I think you were worried about putting out an episode and not really having a conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. And so that's terrible, right? Because then because the craft suffers greatly, right? And so you have to sort of like get back and be asking yourself like, what am I doing this for? Yeah, what am I doing this for? Like, what is?
And then you're like,
about?
I would like to have a conversation with somebody.
Well, yeah, then
refresh you.
You like you fall back in love with like other things, like about it. And I guess I just needed time to do that, but like the intentions at one point in time were just not there. Like it
felt forced. Like you felt like you were
forcing it.
You were forcing yourself.
It was forced, like trying to make something happen as opposed to allowing
what we were talking about
to happen. But that's this ego-driven thing that I've just recently learned how to really look at, like really learn how to see the ego's assertion, right? In certain 100%. Situations, and feeling like it was me doing something. You know what I mean? Like it's me. Like I have to come here and do it, as opposed to just coming and sitting in the room and just allowing the thing to happen. But it's just like it's much easier for other people to do than like for me. I had this conversation with you in the past. I've had this conversation with Duty in the past, Keon in the past, where like people would just be looking at me like, "Hey, what are you doing? Like, why are you stressing? Like, why are you? Like, what do you think this is supposed to be? Like, why don't you just like let it, like relax?
See, that's all right."
But bro, like have you ever felt trapped in? I know you know. Have you ever felt trapped in your mind?
Hell yes. And I brought up ADHD earlier is because my mom actually said that when I was younger I was struggling with ADHD. Like I actually had it. I probably still do have it to this day, but I was super trapped in my mind. I was always daydreaming, always playing out scenarios of X, Y, Z. And I was, dude, that shit just got so mentally straining. I had to stop doing it. And like when I realized that I had to stop living in my head, it's when I could actually start living for myself. Okay. And start living in the dream world.
Okay. Now,
100%.
Living in your head?
100%. You already know. 1,000%. You're just trying to force reality to be something that you really want it to be, instead of just observing it and going with it.
Yeah. So, and I don't think don't think quarantine helped.
It did.
It did. I think it helped.
No, it did. It did.
Okay.
It did.
I don't think it helped everybody, but it helped. I think it helped the majority.
It did.
You think it helped the majority of people?
I don't know.
The majority of people? You think it just helped them with what?
I think it helped.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, for sure. I think it helped. Help them realize just taking that time, not only just for themselves, but like just to realize, like, oh man, what am I?
I think in the long run, we're going to see that the quarantine was going to be better for humans than not good. Even though there's clearly, we're having fucked up effects, while these people. But
You think long term?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we realize that we don't all need to just be all doing like together. All these humans in the same spaces. We can spread out a little bit,
For sure.
and relax.
Yep.
We
Live individually.
everything doesn't have to be rushed and bum rushed and all.
Yeah.
See, I went deeply into my mind. I probably read about 60 books that year.
Yep.
And a lot of them were just about like thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And just philosophy. I mean, I just start thinking about thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And I just start trying to break apart every idea that I possibly can down to a granular level. Like when I say I didn't feel like a good conversational partner before, it's because I felt like, and you know what's funny is I'll be hearing things that people say in the past, and I told you this, like people say things around you. Like Mo had told me, and I think he was saying this as a compliment, but it stuck with me, is he was saying that in conversations, because he listens to these, that like I was down to have an eclectic conversation with people, like just a lot of different types, like open-minded, right? But that I would always sort of steer it where it needed to go.
Quote unquote
needed, right? And so that's his understanding of it. But like when I heard that, like I didn't like that. And it took me some time to like steer. And I was like, I don't know if I like that. Like he said it like it was something that needed to be done for the overall quality of the conversation. Like it needed to go to this other place. But when he said that, there was clearly something that did not resonate with me. And I was like, that's not what I'm aiming to do. Like, that's not what I want to do. I was like, but that's what's being heard. And then I just started hearing and realizing just how closed off to a lot of conversations I actually was. Because my mind was so geared towards working out certain ideas in my mind that I would just let people talk about what it is they were talking about and find a way to insert what I've been thinking about into that. So it seems like I'm open-minded to having conversations about stuff, but I'm really not.
You're just, I feel like,
and I did that all the time because it was just about me and like my thoughts.
True.
I wasn't being curious enough about other people and their thoughts and their world and their experience.
I see.
Until recently. And recently, when you feel something, you realize you weren't feeling it before. So the amount of curiosity, like genuine curiosity and love for listening to other people and their experiences has become so profound in me that I realized it wasn't there before.
Wow.
I mean, you're just adding dimensions. You're just adding more plays to the playbook.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you were still climbing the same mountain. Maybe you left the path and tried to climb that bitch straight up. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like relax and just go ahead and take the path.
You tried to take a hidden path.
Shut your ass up.
You felt like
I tried to take a hidden path.
and fell down a little bit. Fell down some rocks real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Got a little fucked up on the way. Yeah. In the Buddhist teaching, which I really, really like, there's not so much a good and evil. There's a wise and ignorant, right? So there are sages in the Buddhist practice where they're kind of the villains, if you would say, right?
Yeah, okay.
But they're really not evil. They're really just kind of a lesson or two away from being one of the other sages that's just peaceful, helping people. Right. So you have like, you know what I mean? You have like the villain, and then like possibly, and we've seen this in movies and stories before, where like the villain just needs to like see something or have something reconciled in them, and then they're like, oh, all right, I need to be over there helping y'all out.
Moana, John.
Yeah, I didn't watch Moana.
No, Moana was fire.
Is there another movie where that's happened? Probably Magneto and Xavier have done that before. Like there have been
like
some
that.
times where Magneto was like, "Man, let me come over and help y'all real quick."
Yeah.
That happened before, right?
Yeah.
But like Magneto didn't kill some mutants or something like that, or didn't kill Xavier because of the respect they had, and was like, "Let me come over there."
Like a Batman and Joker type thing.
Oh,
Did Joker ever help Batman?
No.
Okay, then not like that.
Well, I mean, I see what you're saying.
I'm talking about
1000%.
the villain has a lesson or something comes and then they decide to help.
You talking
maybe
about
like a Michael B. Jordan and Killmonger.
Okay.
At the very end, now he dies. But he learned that before he died, if he was going to continue to live, he may have been on King T'Challa's side.
You're talking about like on like Don't Look Under the Bed.
Fuck, I probably watched that when I was 9. So
Remember how the boogeyman was really the imaginary friend?
Oh shit.
Turned into the boogeyman because she stopped believing. Remember?
Damn.
Wow, I completely forgot all that until they said those words.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, she did. Damn. But yeah, it's kind of like that. Like that's kind of like how I felt. I know you didn't agree, but some of these episodes that I've had where I just look back. It's wild when you can just look back like a week or like a month and be like, what? I was tripping.
Damn.
Like I was like, that's not who I want to be. It's not the energy I want to put out. Like I was in a different space. Like that's not even
talking about the ether.
Yeah, like that's not even like the energy I'm trying to walk around here with. That's just not. It's not it. But you be in a place of such frustration.
Yeah.
You just look back like, damn, like, it's crazy. Now you got it. Now maybe easier for you all than for certain people. I don't know how easy it is for you all to forgive yourselves versus other people. But some people, it's very difficult to forgive yourself than it is someone else. Someone else, you can be like, I got you. But when you fucked up in the way that someone else has, you be harder on yourself. Like, wow. Knowing that someone else is just a person, and you be like, you wouldn't want them to just be feeling bad about something. And you would want to take your own advice. You would want to give advice to your friend and be like, hey man, listen, you fucked up. Like you realize that, but go ahead. We just gonna move on now.
Right.
But when it's you that did the fucking up, you be like, yo, like
I know better than that. I shouldn't keep doing that shit.
like I can't, like I can't believe I was moving like that. Like, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you got to sit with that. You know who I think about?
No, you know who you are.
Who am I?
Are there any butterflies that do multiple metamorphoses?
Metamorphosize. What is the plural of metamorphosis? Maybe it's metamorphosis.
Where it's a caterpillar, then it's a butterfly, then it goes back and it's a bigger butterfly, then it goes back and it's a bigger butterfly.
I don't think so.
I think maybe I could be wrong, but maybe moths do that.
Certain moths?
Maybe certain.
Yeah, I want to say I heard about something like that where it's a whatever.
Yeah.
Then it's a moth. Then it's a butterfly.
Maybe I don't.
But
be
that's
knowing.
what it reminds me of. Because I'll see you'll hit that phase where you're like, damn, I ain't shit. And then you'll do the reflection. You'll come out, boom, you hit another stride. You find way different epiphanies in the way you see shit. And it's like, you're like, I was tripping for thinking that I was tripping. Even though, I was tripping, but...
Right, yeah.
But it doesn't bother you nearly as much. You're just like, I get it.
Well, yeah, I know that I'm that I'm in the stage of reflection.
Yeah, it's like
for
you're in the
sure.
cocoon.
Yeah.
You're in the cocoon. And you know what I mean?
For sure, yeah.
Definitely in the stage of reflection right now.
Yeah, I think it's like there's
Because it makes me want to redo, because I think about, because I want to take this space seriously. I want to take, like every time I have a conversation with someone, I try to take that space very seriously.
Right.
Because like, I like people having a space to express.
Right.
I know that for a long time, I didn't have a space to express. I know what that felt like. It doesn't feel good. I like for people to have that. I know how people be feeling because they tell me how they feel. And it's not good out there for a lot of people. And so like, I don't like the idea of just like not being there wholly, you know, and with pure intentions when engaging with someone ever. Like I don't like that idea. So when like that happens, it's like heavier on me that like I wasn't doing that. You know, it's different when you're just like sabotaging yourself. It's different when there's anyone else involved in the situation.
But the numbers, like nobody's like, man, I was talking to Earl, but I could just tell that like he did not care about what I no, but because you're able to pay attention to your thoughts and theirs at the same time, so that like it's not happening nearly to the degree. You know what I mean? Even though you feel like, damn, but I could have picked up on so much more. Yeah, but it's like, yeah, that's just part of it. Part of the growth.
Yeah, growth is.
You know what I'm saying?
Evolve the only thing known.
You know what I'm saying? It's part of the. Yeah, it's part of the process. Failing is failing. Yeah, if you're not failing, then everything is good all day. Everything's all good. You know what I'm saying? Everything is all good all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose I guess the bar is low if that's kind of
like
that's kind of the case.
Yeah, failure's tough. Like I was talking about earlier. I was gonna come back to my training session from yesterday. So I was gonna do a nice 2.5 hour row. And
crazy.
Yeah. But I mean,
by the way, you're also a good teacher, just like my little sister was about teaching me how like having an odd amount of people in the Secret Santa is not, it's like it can happen because I'm a fucking idiot. You're also a good teacher, and the thing that you taught Keon and I about life insurance.
Oh yeah,
that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna, yeah.
But also you taught just in the few ways. Or in the few words, how you taught Keon to look at the movement he should be doing on a row machine.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think about it that way before. My posture hasn't been terrible, but it's been better since you sent that text message.
Yes.
And I was like, like just act like it's a leg press and your hands are just there to lift
just hold it
at its highest point.
Yep. You don't even, if you're doing like a longer row, you ain't got to do all that. But yeah, if you're nice shorter rows, go ahead. You'd be excellent row because in a longer frame, so you can just push all the way through your legs, bring that shit all the way up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and my thing going into my whole training, like my entire training, not session, but season.
Yeah.
Is I'm trying to train for when like shit going wrong. Because if I'm working out and shit's going right, then okay, like it feels right, okay. But I need to be ready for when shit goes completely left. So first, the Saturday after Thanksgiving, I did my first marathon row. So I rode 26 miles, 42,000 meters.
Wow.
Took like 3.5 hours.
Wow.
But the main thing is I figured out when I was like 2.5 hours in, because I couldn't feel what was happening. Like I wasn't wearing gloves. So I could see the skin was just like gone from my fingers. You can still see like the scars and shit. So I was like, damn, like this is only. Remember when you were like, how many of those do you have to do for that?
Yeah.
I hadn't even finished that one yet. So I was like, damn, my hands like I'm gonna have to wiggle up to this. It's gonna be bone. I'm not gonna have skin. So I threw on my little weightlifting gloves for that. Finished that row. So then all I was thinking is, okay, I got to figure out the way I'm gonna protect my hands for this.
Right.
Next obstacle. Okay. I found some gloves that they give us for free at work. These thick ass like thermal. They're for when people are outside or they're cold. And I used those, right? And I love them when I was rowing. But as I had my phone to my side, I was trying to like change the song or something. And the gloves are bigger than my normal hands. And when I reached over, I knocked over only not even halfway through my row yesterday. I knocked over every bit of drink fuel that I had.
Damn.
I was like, oh shit. Like that's it. Like that's it. Like I can't replace any calories from here on out. I can't.
By the way, Carl, because you don't understand, he's sending crazy numbers. Like he's burning 3,300 calories in one of these sessions that he's having.
I can imagine.
That is the recommended amount for a man, like and a half or something. Like it's crazy because it's like 2,500. I think.
When they give you the normal diet, it's like 2,000 a day. Is what you burn.
That's crazy. Like that's
yesterday was like 2,800, right?
Damn.
So that jump. So I had over half my roll left, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, damn! I just spilled every fucking thing. And so I'm like, this is what the training's for. Like, I gotta be ready for something like this to happen. So I did stop, and I did as fast as I could. I threw like paper towels on it and sprayed it with the gym spray because I didn't want the floor to get all sticky and all fucking because it's gonna be there for another hour and 20 minutes. So I was like, I gotta do something. So I had to stop for like 6 minutes, but I kept that timer going as if it's just part of it. And then I had to get back on that shit and go for an hour and 14, no drink. And I was thirsty at the time, so I was getting bro. I was, bruh.
Right, you was reaching for it.
I'm getting thirsty thinking about because I can remember that state I was in. I was like, oh my gosh, like
That's crazy.
oh my gosh.
So have you done it? Is the IV like a liquid IV? Is that?
I haven't even asked anybody yet, but I feel like
maybe that's even a lot. Like doing a lot, being hooked up to an IV. Like
I feel like the optics will look crazy. I don't know.
Like what do people do? Like what did the last guy do that broke the record?
You gotta have whatever. You have a method. You have a plan. You drink while you're doing it. You might.
And have you thought about this plan, or you just been taking whatever's in the fridge?
No. When I did my marathon row, like it's all calculated. It's calculated. So I'm looking at stuff. I'm looking at high fat, something with high in fat and salt, while I'm drinking just kind of because I'm not going. My pace is not crazy. My heart rate's never really going up in the red. It's a nice, easy working pace. So supposedly, when you're staying at an easier working pace, your body is burning fats. When you start really trying to work hard, is when your body's going to tap into carbs. Might be wrong on that, but I mean that's at least what it kind of feels like for me. So I'm looking at shit that's higher in fats. So for the first time I did the marathon row. My dumb ass, I know that I want to do like peanut butter and like bread, like stuff that people have given me tips on,
right,
and stuff that I've read about. But I was like, oh shit, honey baked ham. I was like, yeah, that's definitely high in fat and salt. I was like, oh yeah, let's rock with that. So so I brought honey baked ham with me.
It's Thanksgiving
honey
time,
baked ham and fucking yes, it was that honey baked ham and body armor. And I mean, I felt like shit after I had a few slices, like probably like an hour or so in. I did feel like shit for like 40 minutes, but then after I had burned like another
that's gone.
I felt after I had burned it, it felt like I was like, oh yeah, like the energy kicked in.
Right.
Like, let's get it. So yeah, like I'm saying is definitely gonna have to find ways to fuel. I'm thinking peanut butter, bread. I'm gonna try that next. Something easier, not as much solids, but
yeah.
But anyways, I knocked that shit over. I cleaned it up, hot back on, and now I'm like, all right, hour and 14. And I just had to kind of push that feeling out of my head, just thinking, all right. By this time, I think Blaze had gotten there. It was like 3:30, and then Tony had gotten there. So I was like, all right. I mean, worst come worst, there's some people here,
right? Like, bring me some.
If I get, I'll probably start throwing up and shit before I really get dehydrated. Like I'm not just gonna drop dead and just right now. So I just kept going, and then. Time just kept passing by, and I made it through. But I mean, I did reach back for the cup and get whatever drops out of it I could. Like,
right. Yeah.
I was just like, all right, bet. But I was just using that time as a session of this shit's going wrong. This is what I'm looking for, and it happened. So now I know my next correction is going to be okay. All my drinks are going to go on this side, and then everything else on this side. So the only time I go to the left is for a drink, and while I'm changing songs or looking at heart rate or just whatever I'm doing on the left side, I don't gotta worry about that shit.
There was that time that
that's tough.
That
bro.
Kevin Hart got in a car accident, and the doctor told him, he was like, that had you not been working on your core the way that you work on your core, you would have never walked another day in your life. Like you were literally like centimeters away
Shattering all
from from shattering everything. But the fact that your core was as strong as it was is what saved you here. And like that's a story that he tells is just say, I'm getting ready for something. Like I don't know what it is,
that too.
but I'm just getting ready for
And
it.
you know what's crazy is, I mean, I had that thought too sometimes. Like, I'll be thinking like, am I getting ready for something? I don't know. My brain's telling me to do this shit. I'm just gonna go ahead and follow the orders because I mean, I'm gonna get stronger through it regardless.
Yeah.
And nigga, by like the last like 10, 15 minutes, I didn't even feel like I was like rowing anymore. It felt like I was just kind of like my legs stayed straight. listen, nigga, like it was to the point where like my heart rate was still cool. Like I was still working at a normal. Like I wasn't like out of breath or nothing. It just felt like my muscles I didn't really have nothing to really work for. There was no gas left, and like there's literally like no gas. Like the car can't go. You know what I'm saying? Like the battery's fine. Yeah, battery fine. It's just like the car can't go. So like nigga, I was just. Cause you know exactly how I'm describing it.
So funny.
I was literally just doing this. I was just getting as close as I could with my arms, and I was keeping my legs straight and just bringing it back up, like. And I was like, all right, I still got to do. So I'm forcing myself to go back to regular form, and forcing myself to just keep doing the normal motion.
The car can't
So I was
go. This man, listen to what Mikey's days are like. This is what Mikey be doing.
But I was gonna say that takes a lot of discipline too, because for people, for probably the next person, if all their fuel just got spilled over, they probably would have ended that shit right.
I was thinking about it. Yeah, like I stopped the rower and I was just like. I was sick. I was just like,
what are we doing here?
Like, is this a sign to stop rowing? And I was just like, what if this happens? Like, during this, what am I gonna do? So I was like, fuck, I gotta practice it. I gotta see what it feels like now.
That's a win. That's a win right there, bro.
So I was like,
for sure.
Worst come worst, I was thinking worst come worst, I could easily slide up DoorDash. I can have somebody bring me. I'll go. Have Walgreens, have a nigga go to the Walgreens if it's the middle of the night during my work session, and he's gonna deliver me some body armors. I'm gonna put some very specific things on there, and then when he pulls up, I'll run up and get my shit. So I have a plan, like so. Yeah.
Damn, that takes.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's wild discipline.
Yeah,
that's wild discipline.
But I mean, honestly, like, you don't. It's weird because I keep telling people like you don't feel nearly as bad like as it seems. And you are burning a lot of calories, but like when I'm done, I hop up on the road and I'm just like, I feel amazing. I just need to go replenish, but like I could literally keep going. It's that's why what you were saying earlier, like, oh, people they find little pockets where somebody hasn't done something and they're overlooking it. Why don't you do it? I swear, like that. If there was other athletes, they see that they could smash that record.
Yeah,
it's just crazy. Yeah, somebody 6'4" with crazy endurance, like a tight end or something, bro. Like NFL, they would smash that record like nothing because all the best rowers are taller, bigger. They got calories stacked on them to burn, and they can just rock. I could see it happening.
Yeah,
I just see like, oh, I got a little wiggle room because nobody's thinking about it. Now I'm gonna be sick. I'm gonna be mad as shit if for some reason somebody listens to this shit, all right, and they like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try it tomorrow, and they do it. You did
say that's what the talk station is. It's just a manifestation
and
machine.
then somebody come up when they do it in 105 hours, and I'm like, oh, well, all right. Did I tell you? I told you, JB, right?
Oh yeah, he's just kind of doing it with you or something like that.
Yeah. We're planning like it's that right now. The plan is a tandem. 2-man. It's going to take 76 hours.
Wow.
I'm training in case he gets stationed out somewhere. But no, he's in. He's dead ass in. He's going to finish the last day in his.
How are you challenging yourself these days, Carl?
Honestly, by just putting up better film every day.
Better film.
I'm sorry. I'm talking about work again. But,
okay. I like the work. Okay.
Because when I first started,
when you say film, what do you mean film?
So the film it's like a I don't know if it's like plastics. I mean, like
polyamorous. Polyamorous.
It's a film that goes. Are y'all replacing the actual windows?
No, so
You're
we're
reinforcing them.
Yes, sir. Yep.
So y'all are putting a film on it that it keeps the window from shattering.
Exactly.
That's some strong ass film.
Yeah, apparently, like when we put that film and we have to put like this black kind of glue on it, and then we put the sticks on this black sticks that anchors the film, and so
pieces don't fall.
Exactly.
They just
and they just shatter, but not break.
They shatter. They stay in place. You can't get through it.
But once we anchor everything, like the value of the glass just goes up, like skyrockets, like $10,000 or $15,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just at work, just trying to do. I get it. Yeah, I get.
We're
that.
protecting the kids, man. Like we, at all aspects, as long as the kids and the faculty members are protected, whatever chance that the bad guys. However long it takes them to get inside the school, as long as everybody's safe, that's my goal. That's what I'm.
So wild. They're just like adults, are going to the elementary school. Like there's this thing, and they're like, when I take it out on the world, it's going to be at the elementary school.
There was just another recent shooting too. Like a college professor did the shooting.
Oh, wow.
I don't know where the location was, but like I think he critically injured a student and then killed another. So, yeah. It's a crazy world we live in, bro. It's just the world we live in.
It's a wild world.
It's a lot of darkness out there, man.
It is spectrum.
Because
everybody wants to outdo, the last one. If you're a crazy person, you want to go break the crazy nigga record.
That's great.
So you have these people who want to do
a lot of games out there. People
they want to do extraordinary things, but
playing like it's fucking GTA.
Yeah,
nigga, it is not GTA.
I say it all the time. That's how I was playing life. And I was like, you know what? I might as well just go ahead and play the missions.
You just play the main story.
Let me just play the main story. Like, I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. Let me just play the main story. He was just like, I was like, oh, the story kind of fire. I'm just playing this junk.
She's just playing life, just playing all the side quests. She's just running around, just free roaming.
Not even side quests.
Yeah,
I went right past the side quests. Just free roam, 5 stars. 5 stars. All right, just do bad shit. All right, what's gonna happen? Oh, the game. Oh, restart.
Nigga, you died.
Yeah,
just come back.
Yeah, that's kind of what. Yeah.
It was crazy, bro.
I'm telling you, man.
It was crazy.
100%.
I do think that. I think that that's a good practice, as you said, just putting the film up. I'm thinking about that with everything. It's like when I talk about trying to do my best, I think about trying to do every single thing the best I can. Like trying to create some sort of natural Adderall state where like everything you do, you want to do it the best that you can because he laughs at my Adderall stage a lot.
Yo,
because he was around.
Earl,
I was overdoing. I overdid it.
No, you're one of the niggas I was talking about. I would have never known. You'd be able to smoke crack and I would never know.
Oh man, I mean,
you did smoke a little crack by accident.
Did you?
You didn't. Nah, he did.
There was
listen.
Maybe
crack smoke has been inside of his body.
Yo.
Yes.
Now the percentage may be low.
Yes.
And he wasn't intentionally doing it.
Yes.
But
shit, no, not
there was on my very first mushroom.
This is Florida. This is Florida also. So that's a big,
I was Florida man, Earl.
Yeah, this is a big.
God damn.
Earl wasn't out in Virginia smoke.
We went over. We went over. It's great when you leave your friends. You become different. Like so. I went down to Florida and I was doing shrooms with some people I didn't know, and we ended up at their friend's house. It was an amazing experience, by the way, doing it with these strangers. You would think that it was
free. It's just free.
Yeah, I was 21, so I was probably in the free state.
And you were the first few times you're in that free state, you're just like everything's man. It's just
and I was Florida man, Earl, at that point, so that means a lot of things. And so we went over to his friend's house, and he was over there playing video games, and there were already some other friends in there. They were just playing video games. The mom was home.
Yeah.
And I guess there was a pipe, just sitting off to the side, and they're just playing video games. It was the most regular interaction, just being over at some people's houses playing video games
while you're in it. But if you had been peeking through the window, you'd have been like, yeah, there goes some beans in there. There's some beans in there. Like, but to you, you're just,
Because I'm on shrooms at the time hanging out with him. Yeah,
ain't nothing wrong.
There was not an ounce of judgment when my friends, the people I was with, were just like, "Hey, man, like you still smoking crack, man?"
Wow.
And he was just like, "Yeah, man. I don't think I'm gonna stop." And they were like, "Damn, man!" And it was just like, and we used his pipe to smoke weed out of. So that's what he said.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
Damn.
Yeah.
Not Earl.
What if it had been just one little tiny, like, and you were the first one, you were just like, yeah, what, you don't just wait, like, you don't just automatically, the feels just pop right out. You're just like,
Anyway, the point I was getting to with the natural Adderall state is that you care so much about everything you're doing. But that practice is great because the way you move in some situations may very well be the way you move in other situations. Yes. So I'm trying my very best to practice that because I say that every moment is so delicate. That's what's interesting to me about moments strung together. It's like time ain't nothing but that. It ain't nothing but moments strung together. So it's like it's always happening. Every single moment is like the next moment.
In the past.
And so everything is like so delicate. It's happening right now. And then right now. And then right now. And then right now. And if you're not paying attention and that moment slips past for whatever reason, then you did not give due diligence to the delicateness of that moment.
Right.
And you could have dropped something or got your foot stuck on some shit and fell back and threw a weight somewhere.
You need to talk to right now. Because you know what you're saying. You know what you're describing.
Who do I need to talk to?
Vince.
I thought you
mindfulness. This is all mindfulness.
I know.
But also, like what you're saying too, like I'm doing the same thing right now. Because in the project that I'm on, it's very slow and laid back compared to where we were just at. And I mean, I have a choice of, do I want to go be in charge of tasks that I know I'm really, really good at? I'm going to find those skills. I'm like, nah, I want to work with my homie who I was saying he has a computer for a brain and do something that I'm not very good at all because he's a fucking beast. And I've been telling myself I want to learn this part of it a lot. So I'm like, nah, let me rock with him. Even though I'm a higher classification than him, he's been doing this type of shit. This is particular task way like longer based on where he's been placed at. What it is like if you've ever been like you see like pipes being run for wires come out. So we have to do all of our own like pipe work. So we actually bend them and we bend those. You take measurements and you bend it like perfectly.
Shit.
Yeah, like you
don't just they don't just come bent.
Yeah,
you just put them in the.
Some places they do. Some places they do. But for the most part, as as a journeyman, like you should know how to run that yourself. Bend it perfectly because when you bend the pipe changes dimensions because it's being stretched.
Right.
You have to know the measurements of the different sizes down to the eighth of an inch, quarter of an inch, like perfect. Like it's like artwork almost.
Wow.
And he's a beast at this, and I had never really worked with this before. So I'm like, yeah, I'm working with him. Like I'm working with him, and he's also I'm pretty sure my dog. He's on the spectrum. I think he had said it too, and I noticed it because you know how they get kind of shifty with the eyes. A little, he said it because he's like, I don't really know sometimes how to communicate with somebody because it's hard to gauge like what somebody means. I was like, bro, and I was like, you're good, bro.
That's a great point.
I was like, I didn't know, Sean.
Because he says what he means.
Yeah, he says what he means.
Versus like other people. Yeah. It goes through.
But he can do sarcasm too. Yeah. He's funny too. But you got to kind of like get into that kind of comfortability zone with him.
Yeah.
But and that's why they only put certain people with him to do these tests because he does have that fucking calculations.
See, that's a huge part of the game of conversation that I've fallen in love with. Is I've just been having a lot of conversations with people that otherwise I guess I wouldn't have thought there was much going on with them. There was I went to a dinner party recently, and there was a woman there. that was a mother of a friend of Von Marie and I's, and like she was just kind of like in the back, like not really engaging too much. She was just chilling. She didn't really seem like she had much going on. She seemed kind of like dampened, you know what I mean? Like there wasn't any exuberant facial expression she was giving, like no big smiles, no real laugh. Like she was just kind of in the back, just like chilling, just observing things going on.
Yep.
And it wasn't until we ended up sitting at the same table to eat food where some conversation slowly started coming up, slowly started bubbling up. And the more of my investment into her happened, and just the more conversation occurred, this whole personality
Came out nowhere.
came out of fucking nowhere. And it was like just the more she felt comfortable, and like it like this is the most beautiful thing that like I'm seeing now. It's like facilitating a space and just participating in a space, I should more so say.
Yeah.
Where you like slowly get to see that happen in someone.
That's what I'm seeing.
They're like slowly like rising to the surface, and like they get more comfortable, and like they'll tell a joke. And then like you laugh at the joke because the joke is
Now
fucking
you're
funny.
hearing- yeah.
And then like they recognize that you laughed at a joke.
Yeah.
And then like more jokes coming, more stories coming, more of themselves. And I'm just like, what the? You're the person that was sitting in the back, not talking to anyone. And this person was so fascinating. She had amazing stories, and
Was she super interested in certain things, or?
was she interested in certain things? She has a passion for what do you call like elderly care?
Okay.
Like just, I think hospice.
Oh, okay.
And she started crying, talking about how much she loved it and how much they do for her. The fact that they allow her to do this for them, like she does, like they don't know how much it means to her.
Okay.
And like she started crying about it, and I was holding her hand and she was talking to me about it. It was like this whole fucking scene happened.
That's beautiful.
And I was an idiot for a long time. And there was this correlation, and you've told me this plenty of times, just like, Earl, maybe motherfuckers just don't have the words, right? There was this correlation in my mind between experience happening and expression of said experience.
Yes.
So I would think, stupidly, that because people were not expressing layered complexity to what was going on inside of their mind and inside their body for their experience on this planet, that I guess it ain't that exciting.
Damn.
I guess it's really just not that deep. Like it's not that crazy going on. It's just people either don't feel safe, or they don't know how, or they don't want to, they don't care to.
Listen,
it's like a mixture of all these things where there's all this experience going on, but people just be chilling saying nothing.
Listen.
And it's just like all of this treasure that could just be unearthed that like we don't know is happening inside of people unless you can sort of facilitate a space where they feel comfortable.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, man, you would be super interested in the spectrum if you're not already. People with like some level form of autism, because it's such a broad spectrum, and there's so many people that are in really high places, athletes, people like you would never really guess. And when you really start learning what it is and like what they're kind of going through, you start seeing the signs that like it's autism. You just think, oh, somebody that there's your special ed classes. You think about like the lower functioning, but like the high functioning, it's crazy. And when you start to work around and talk to these people, you're like, yo, that's a goddamn like genius. Like they're, it's just hard for them to kind of gauge and communicate with people. They get caught up in their words. Yeah. Like we talked to Kawhi Leonard. I don't know if you've ever seen the signs. I'll have to show you. There's another one, plays basketball, Nikola Jokic. He was MVP last year.
Yep.
Telling you, these people are definitely on the spectrum. And I was funny because I was tweeting about it one day, and I was being dead ass serious. I was like, yo, like I saw one clip of him pregame. He was running around like the arena on the inside, and he had this face, and I was just like, oh, Well, it's on the spectrum. And then you start walking back and you start realizing where all this stuff makes sense. He's hyper fixated on horses. Every time reporters ask him about the NBA, he's just like, it's just my job. I don't really know. But then when he's talking about horses, he's lit up. It's hard for him to sometimes control like little emotions. So when I tweeted this out, the same homie who I did the podcast with, the Hall of Fame, he hit me up. He was like, yo, he was like, what do you know about like autism? And I was like, I mean, you know, I've worked around a lot of people who've had it, and somebody kind of in my family, he has it, so I'm real familiar with it. And he was like, I have a lot of autism in my family, like my brothers, brother-in-laws. He was like, you're 100% right. He was like, that's crazy. And then he was like, what's your number? Like, so he called me and we talked for like 20 minutes. He was like, I get it now. Like, he's like, because he was on it with the Kawhi Leonard stuff. Like he knows it and he sees it. But then when I said this player, and we were just talking about how it's way more prevalent around, and people just they don't know what it is, so they write somebody off as, oh, he's kind of a little weird. I don't know. He's a little shifty, a little different, a little weird. Don't really know what that is.
Yeah, I've thought that when it has come to people asking questions and like being curious, I've thought I just think like, oh, people don't really ask questions.
Yeah,
like people don't really seem curious in other people. But then I just started thinking, well, what's the percentage of people that just don't know how to ask other people questions? Like don't know how to ask about what they're interested in, or like what they would like to know, what they're curious about, or like how many people just don't really know how to do that.
There's a whole lot going on. So then, you know, so when you really start getting around somebody, you kind of ask them questions, and then another guy who has a really big ass account, I've noticed that he's really smart at like salary talk for the NBA. I noticed that he was like, this guy knows his stuff. He hit me. He's like, hey man, like I'm high functioning autistic. He was like, do you have it like in your family or something? I was like, no, man, well, yeah, but not in like my direct family is what I told him. He was like, I can tell that like you really kind of know about it, because he was like, you're describing it perfectly. And he was telling me what it feels like to be him. And I was just like, I'm fascinated by it, because I know that they have like they have this computation ability to just like Rain Man type shit.
Yeah.
But they can't really communicate socially a lot with people. It comes off as like, that guy's kind of off, he's a little different, or
so
super introverted, a little weird. You see somebody that's kind of like doing the shifty eyes thing, but they're kind of to themselves. Then you talk to them, they have some kind of interest, and you're just like, dang, he knows a lot about this.
But see, that's what I was saying. Like, there's this weird inclination that humans have to like other people.
Yeah.
Like, no matter like what day and age you come from, like there's always people like trying to kind of like be like, oh no, we're these type of people. Like they're them.
I think
I've always hated that too, man. It's just like some people, not everybody, but some people are just so quick to just root out what's not them, and then just keep what they think, quote unquote, think is them. You know what I'm saying? But you described it perfectly. My fiance's sister's son has high functioning autism, and he's a fucking genius.
See what I'm saying?
But it's just I really wish people weren't so quick to just write off what they deem as weird. You know what I'm saying? Just like, we're all people, we're all breathing this, we all bleed the same. Just accept what's what's not normal.
I just think,
because that's the norm.
But also, I think it comes from just having I think we talked to it in text. Like I kind of want to really understand like everybody's like point of view, perspective, and thoughts. So I'm always asking questions and letting them get talk so I can understand it. And a lot of people are kind of like more so getting their shit off, because everybody wants to get their shit off.
Yeah,
I realize that. So that a lot of times I'll take a back seat, like let them get their shit off. Yeah, that's where you get to learn. Like, oh, I see how you think. Oh, and then matter of fact, the other day, like the foreman asked me, he was like, hey, mate, it's cool if Mike keeps working with you. He's like, oh, yeah. And it's like only me and like one other guy that like he's cool with working with. And it's because like,
you give him that space to be him.
Give him that space to be him. And like, he has a whole different personality than what you would notice. Like, he's funny as hell, smart as shit. Ex-motherfucking Marine. Little stocks, little small, yeah. Yeah, man.
It's crazy. People's abilities on this planet is crazy.
I'm telling you.
All the just like the biological variability of people is just it's crazy. Yeah, we definitely have to get better about not writing people off for just being different or
1000%.
not like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1000%.
Even when somebody's like irritable or you know, somebody that like a negative thinking person. Because I'm always under the impression that I don't know what the fuck he's got going on at home.
Right.
But like I kind of know how to get through to them. In the sense, like I told him, like you look him square in the eye, like bro, like who you talking to? Type shit. I'm telling you, it's the weirdest shit. When you feed them that energy,
when you make them think that they can't step on you for any reason whatsoever, then
they gotta rethink that. I mean, that question, like, well, who am I talking to?
It's sad that
I guess I don't know.
Yeah. To begin with, it's sad that it has to get to that point. It never should have to get to that point.
Yeah, and I had a guy. I don't know if I talked about it here. I think I did. I said I would just look him square in this shit. Like what? And then eventually, like he kind of opened up, started talking to me like he had his own little issues.
Yeah,
or he was taking like his little bipolar medicine like every day. And I realized, and I was like, oh, that's why after lunch you're kind of funny and loopy. And he was like, yeah, man. And like people wouldn't know that, like, because like he's real irritable towards people. But I gave him that direct energy, just real quick back, like, because I realized he wasn't not really mad at you. He's not. Yeah. He don't really want to kick your ass or something like that.
He's just frustrated. He's just dealing with something.
Yeah. Remember at the Berg, who you really mad at?
Who you really mad at? Oh yeah, yeah. Sometimes, people got a lot going on sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What'd you say? Is this what you got to do?
See how that's what you got to do?
Is this what you need?
Yes, that's what you need. You got to get this out. Is what you need? Give me that energy real quick back, and then
hey,
what's up?
If someone's ever, because it's different when someone's saying something to you, but when someone puts their hands on you, and you have the resolve to look them in the eye, and you just say, Carl, just imagine you grabbing me by the neck and me just looking at you and being like, is this what you need right now? Is this what you need? Imagine that.
That's crazy.
It's wild. It's wild resolve.
Yeah,
it's wild resolve that human has.
Yeah,
that's because I knew. I knew, like,
it's like it's not me that you're upset with.
Not even that, but I know that, like, I'm gonna try to calm you down before I have to. Because I know where you want to go. I'm trying to bring you back down. Before I have to.
Before I have to meet you at that level. And then
once we get there, it's just.
It's a wrap.
He demanded it. So okay,
he demanded it.
He demanded it.
Yes.
Oh man!
You had to walk around looking kind of crazy for a little while.
Oh man! I'm glad. Yeah, I know, man. I'm glad. I'm glad we're all growing.
Yeah, for sure.
This shit is necessary.
It is.
This shit is so necessary.
Part of the growth is looking back and saying, "Okay, I was some ass." Even though you weren't, you're just thinking about who you could be. You're right in the middle. You're just right in the middle.
Just
right in the middle.
It's that space.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. You're looking back like, you right where you deserve to be. Nigga.
Hold on. Did you watch Power?
No.
Oh, you didn't? No.
Oh, because I thought that was a quote right from Power.
Oh no.
You didn't watch Power?
No, that's just what I think. It's just like where you are is like you deserve to be right where you are right now. Like
that's a crazy quote.
Like that's just what I think. Like you deserve to be right where you are right now. Like you have given like you have given yourself in your position just this level of attention and earnestness. So where you are, that's exactly where you deserve to be.
So on Power, you know how it's about a black guy who's a drug dealer. He was a businessman now, trying to get out the game, but his family, his wife kept wanting to make him sell drugs. He had a son who just wanted to do bad things all day, So eventually, he gets killed.
Yeah.
Right. And the son goes on to keep on trying to sell drugs and be that nigga, even though he didn't have to do none of this because he just went to a nice school, got a nice job.
Yeah.
Son gets into a murder situation, and he gets arrested for murder, and he ends up in jail. And the main nigga, before he had died, he had all this shit set up because he had figured his son was never going to change. So they came to his cell after he had got booked and was like, yeah, this message was supposed to be delivered to you upon your arrest in case of this scenario.
Wow.
And this nigga opened the letter, and that joke said, look at you, look at you, little nigga, right where I thought you would be. Just like I thought, right where I thought you would be.
Yo, somebody saying that from the grave is crazy.
Yeah, that's
you do not want somebody to be able to call out your future like that
from the grave, nigga.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, in wanting to achieve something in life, wanting to be somewhere. I think often people get bitter. They get bitter as they get older if you don't achieve something that you think you ought to have achieved. Or you start looking around and you see people achieving things that you would have liked to achieve. And you start to become what we call a hater.
I don't even think you gotta be older for that.
No, I don't think that you have to be older, but I mean, like, but I mean, it happens with age. Like, as you grow, I think the bitterness grows through time. The longer you do not achieve, the bitterness grows if you don't break out of that mold.
Oh, because you're thinking about,
and you think like, I deserve that. Like, I should be there. Like, why are they there and I'm not there? And I just think, man, you're probably just like right where you deserve to be.
I had a conversation with somebody like this. It was a random guy on the last place I was at. Yeah, he was like, hey man, can I ask you a question? Like, he didn't even work for our company. And I was like, yeah, what's up? He was like, why do you think it is that like strangers support you more than like people around you close? And I was like, like, what do you mean? He was like, let's say if I were to like say I wanted to start a business and I were to tell you about it, like, what would you say? I was like, I'll say you do it. Like, oh yeah, like, why not? And he was like, see, that's what I'm talking about. But then you talk to people close to you, they might start asking you all these other questions about things and why I can't do it. He's like, why do you think that is? And I was like, well, maybe it's because they feel like they know you or they have known you and they're thinking about the limitations of themselves and they feel like maybe if they can't do it, why would you be able to do it? But they don't know the steps that you've taken to do it. A lot of times they're not really doubting you. They're really doubting like themselves because of they can't see it happening.
You can't see the vision.
They can't.
It's hard to see.
It sounds crazy. I don't like saying it like that because you don't see the vision.
No, but I see what you're saying. Like, but it's like, but I understand what you're saying.
That very well could be true.
It's like, I don't know how I would start this thing. Like, how I would get. Like, I know nothing about it. I don't even know how this would work. So I don't know how you're going to do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's sort of the thing. So like how are you going to do it?
But at the same time, I'm like, you say that idea to them, and they don't have any idea of what type of research or not research,
like just what the resources,
what kind of plan you've done.
Right,
they have no idea what kind of thinking you've done behind this. They're just thinking, well, that doesn't even sound possible. How the hell would you do it? So the people close to you, that's probably how they think. But you talk to a stranger, like, I don't know you, so why couldn't you do it?
Yeah, like, why couldn't you do it? And possibly those people know you, and maybe they know
that too.
You know, that too. They know the patterns that you've exhibited in the past, and they're like, I don't know.
That too. I mean,
like,
of course.
You know, like, because they may be able to see you. It's weird. Like, they may be able to see you in a way that you're not seeing yourself, and they're like, 100%. I don't know if
that's a bit of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, but for somebody to ask that kind of question, I'm thinking like he sees it. Like, whatever his idea was, like, he must see it.
Yeah.
And to ask a random stranger, like, why do you... He's not even talking about the idea. He's just like, why do you think that is?
It's like they would do that.
Because he himself knows his limitations, so he wants to know from an outside point of view who's not close, can I reach that limit?
Or so, as you've talked about with this book, Endure, and maybe you don't know. Because if you've ever asked yourself the question, like, who could you be if you put in X amount of work
Man.
towards it. So maybe you have an idea of the level of crazy
They say
that you're willing to go to do something, but the other person, like, they can't see that. They don't see what you have inside of you, how far you're willing to take something. So they're just like, oh, you can't do, like, you know what it would take to do, you can't do that. And you're like, yeah, I know what it would take. Like, that's what I'm fitting to do.
And they talk about this too. They talked about that in the book. It's like a lot of people, it's not downfalls, but limitations to why they can't do certain crazy things is because they ask the people who have done it. And when you set a certain pace for yourself, for a prime example, they were talking about marathons. The runners who come out and have a plan of the pace that they're going to run are rarely the ones who win. Because like they've already have it in their mind that, okay, this is the pace that I'm going to run. I'm going to run at this pace. But on the flip side, the ones who always mostly win, I'm going to get this country fucked up. I hope I don't get it wrong. Is it the Kenyans?
I think so.
Yeah.
That's where,
Mostly the Kenyans, or is it Ethiopia?
no,
Ethiopia.
nah, we're going with Kenya.
Yeah, I think
I'm pretty sure it's the
I'm going with
Kenyans.
Kenya.
Even though they live at a higher elevation and it's better for them, like a train at that. But they have a mentality that when they get out there, even when it's their first one, is that they're gonna run with the people at the front because it could be their day. They're not looking for any kind of pace, so they just get out and who's up front. I'm running with the guys up front, and so that's the thing. And they don't put no type of limit at all. Of, I should be running at this pace because this is what I train at. They just blank themselves out from all that and just go.
Yeah, Vamra and I were talking about someone from her job, and she was asking her, because I like this question too. She was asking her about her significant other. She was like, tell me about him. We'll just call him Ted. She was like, tell me about Ted. And she very rarely speaks to someone that just raves about their significant other. A lot of times people, kind of like talking some shit and they're like, this person, like, I gotta go home and deal with them. But this person was like raving about their husband. And she was like, I never met anyone. She was like, I didn't know before meeting him that you could sort of make life around you, that you could sort of manifest in a sort of way. But she said it in not such a spiritual way. And she was like, when I met him, like, there's never been he hasn't seen a boundary for himself. Like, he doesn't move that way. He's just like, he thinks of something he wants to do, and he's like, okay, well, what I got to do to do it? Like, what I got to do to get there? And then, like, and that's just how he moves. Like, he never thinks like, well, I can't do that because other people say that they had a hard time doing it. They can't do it. They're just like, I'm gonna just figure out how to do it.
We need to get that nigga up in here.
You know what I mean?
I want to talk to that man.
Yeah, me too.
I want to talk to that man.
And it's always interesting because I've met a couple of those people in my life, and we were kind of talking about this out in the living room before we started podding. It's like certain people that just like, I want to do that. So I'm gonna figure out what I need to do it, and I'm gonna do that thing. And I've met a few of those people, and it's like very weird watching them work because they just move through the world different.
Do it. So somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
Worst come worst, I don't do it.
Like, it's crazy.
I'm gonna try it. Worst come worst, I just don't do it. No. And maybe I'll do it this year. I'm gonna try it again at the end of the year. If I don't get it at the end of the year, I'm gonna try it again next year.
Yeah, it also seems like, but if you like really, really dive in and you like trying to figure it out, like, you'll get better. And if you stick around long enough, you're gonna get better at it, better at it.
And I start, I had a kind of epiphany. We've talked about how you could see the bits and pieces of like Earl's like conversation or interest when you were younger.
Oh, you talking about me?
Yeah.
I remember my conversational interest when I was younger. Like how old?
Like,
what was I talking about?
Remember when I said like quote unquote like the pod? When I said the pod started.
Oh,
the pod started.
Yeah.
Like, even when you were like going to the mall and like just talking to random people, or you know what I mean, stuff like that. Like very early on, you could see bits and pieces of.
I can see it for as long as I can remember.
Like, and now when you look back, you're like, oh, I see how that was traits of what I wanted to do. It just wasn't being used in this way.
Drake said, "Looking back, it's hard to tell you where I started."
Yes, dog.
That's what he said.
Yeah, so I had a kind of epiphany about some shit. it's about like pain for whatever reason. Because when I look back, I always thought I was always kind of like laughing for whatever reason, like pain, like physical pain, like to the body, always kind of was appealing to me, but not in like a weird little nasty nigga way. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
But
Okay.
because I remember I was like, oh, light my feet on fire, funny. Oh, dropping knives on my feet, funny.
Yes.
Just doing fake falling.
These are things that he did back in the day.
Fake falling.
He actually
Funny.
did these things. He lit his feet on fire. He dropped knives on his feet. He did these things.
Yeah.
These are real things he did.
Yeah.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah.
That's in the past.
So I'm looking at it like early on I was kind of already knowing that pain is just a signal from the nervous system going to the
Developing
brain.
pain tolerance.
Yeah, I was, and it kind of brought a slight joy. Like I would kind of laugh at it, like, oh, it would kind of hype me up in a way. But I was never using that using that
productive,
right,
or consciously productive way.
Right?
Yeah.
And now I found a way to where, like, when I find pain, it's mostly coming from working out, and I like that shit. I'm like, oh yeah, like.
Because that's going to benefit.
I know what this is. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that if I'm not going to die, it's just going to make me a little stronger for this shit. But I broke my toe. Well, I'm still going to roll, like laughing at it, like. And so I start looking back, like, oh wow, like I had like the little bits and pieces of blocks of where this really came from.
I think that's what's magical about what it is you're doing, what it is you'll continue to be doing with Maven, is it's the parent's job to be paying attention and like seeing, like, what are you interested in? Like, what is this little motherfucker running around, and like, why do they keep looking at this thing? Why do they keep trying to play with this thing? Like, okay, well, let's.
If she climb, I don't tell you know.
Like, okay, let's see what you're about. Like, you like to climb,
climbing.
Okay, like
I'll just move closer and just make sure you don't fall down and end up like Stephen Hawking or some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just there to make sure you stay alive.
Right, yeah, pretty much.
That's so interesting. This is so different for how we, at least, for us growing up, like, whenever, and every household is different, but when we try to, like, get interested in things, mom or dad come on, what the fuck is you doing? Don't do that. Don't do that shit. And so if we're curious about something, we can't even fully be invested in that because we can't do it.
Or you may be a part of a culture that frowns upon the thing that you are interested in.
Yep.
And we've had friends like that, you know what I mean? Like Duty and skateboarding and things that he really enjoyed, ways that he wanted to dress that just like wasn't going to fly until Lil Wayne did it and then made it cool for the culture. So it's like sometimes the people you're around are just looking at you like, man, you like that? Yeah. And then now you can't like it no more because you're a kid and like you don't want to be made fun. You don't want to be ostracized for liking something that everyone else dislikes.
Social acceptance.
And then so then you find yourself like not finding that thing and spending the time that you could developing your skill set.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That kind of fucking sucks.
I would love to ask you both a question about this. So segueing into rap music and rap in general, do you guys think that rap music has had a positive impact on us coming up?
on us?
Go ahead,
you mean
Mikey.
like us three?
Well,
just us as a people?
I think he means. Do you mean black?
Yes.
Men?
Black. Yes.
Or black people?
Black people.
Black people.
Black people.
Mikey.
It's fucked up.
Because I had a question similar to this. I wanted to ask you two, and I'll ask after we do this.
It's a weird, fucked up question.
It's layered.
It is
because I mean, I still have that strong belief that like the record companies, record labels were in cahoots with private penitentiaries, private owned prisons early on, and that they promoted a lot of violent music on purpose so that the audience consuming would be like, yeah, I want to do that too, and fill prisons. You know what I mean? And get that shit.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
man.
man.
Why do you? There's so many young black men and maybe not even men anymore,
Yeah.
just being incarcerated because they want to live that lifestyle. They want to go down the street, shoot a nigga, drive by.
Your man Kodak, he'll get out of jail. He'll get the deals. But Nodak, that nigga, you going to jail first time? That's it. Bye. 13 years.
Carl, do you know about the DC crime right now?
See, look, DC is on some nut shit.
Do you know about this?
I don't know.
The carjackings?
Told you.
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
You said that article said it doubled since last year? Or,
Yes.
Bro,
Nigga, they're
these
going
are
crazy. They're
kids.
going
These are
crazy.
kids.
Putting switches on everything. So a switch is not even. It's not
You know
even,
what a switch is?
I know the switch
it's
is,
not
yeah.
even like that's not even something you want to put on your pistol.
Well, for the people that don't know, switch makes a automatic or a semi-automatic into an automatic.
Yeah, it's just you fire all of your bullets within like 5 seconds,
Just
and they're done.
uninhibited
And what it does is when I pull up to the gas station, or I'm shooting at my opposition, my target.
Yes.
Everybody out there has to get down and duck. You're not shooting back, so it just causes chaos, and they feel like, oh well, they got switches, I got to have a switch too. And what's happening is innocent people are getting hit.
Yep. It don't matter who it is. Somebody's grandma.
Hey, 8-year-old girl got hit like 4 weeks ago.
Down in Florida, they called the Kia boys. Those niggas was robbing every single Kia in sight.
Wait, what are they called?
I would
the
be
Kia boys.
I would be returning my Kia the first time I heard about that.
Why?
And I'm surprised that there's not a recall.
Why they
on
choose
it, too.
Kia?
I would drop my car. I would drop my car off, leave the keys right in the hood. Hey, just mail me the check.
Why?
Because apparently you could take like an iPhone USB, put it in the keyhole, and start it, and that's all it took. You could just drive off with it just as normal, and it was so easy.
Oh, so they're not carjacking.
Well, no, they're actually jacking the car. They're.
No, I mean like they're not running up on you like get out the car.
Oh no,
They're just stealing them.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, we're talking about carjacking
No, I know.
in DC.
I know. Oh,
they're
okay.
they're
Grand Theft Auto.
GTA and throwing people out of
They got
cars.
they got an FBI agent.
They got a what?
They got a FBI agent. I don't know if they were armed or not. I can't remember, but they ran up on somebody, get out the car, give me that shit, and it was an FBI agent.
Well, I'm not going to DC. I just don't have enough business out there. Like,
Remember, I was talking about this. Remember, I was talking about it. Every time I go out there, it's something.
Is it just DC and it's like in certain parts of DC?
I mean, I'm certain of it.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
It is up there, U Streety.
Okay.
Yeah, it's real out there.
Wow.
But also, I mean,
All right, so again, so so you feel like record labels have just for a long time. Just
there was a
been-
time, they were pushing that, and then hold on. I mean, this sounds like some Dr. Kumar like conspiracy shit. But I mean, what if like
Is Kumar? Kumar is not his name.
Umar? Kumar. Nah, fuck him. He will he'll probably pull up on me. He'll try to fight me if he sees this clip.
Got it.
But it seemed like all of a sudden the drug seller music faded out and like the drug user music kicked in. Is it something to do with, I don't know, pharmaceutical companies getting them, baby? You know how they're nasty business. But I mean, apparently there's a very strong thought that like, I don't know if it was the 90s or I think it was the 90s that they was like, they were in cahoots, that they were like told like, yeah, we want the artists, like promote the ones that are talking about that killer shit because we're gonna get them to mimic the shit. Get the kids on it, and then
See, so when people talk about systemic racism, that's the type of shit that they're talking about.
Because why are prisons privately owned? That just sounds crazy.
No. I think it started all that like that killing and stuff. I think I could be wrong. I think it started in the West Coast with like that hardcore gangster rap and shit.
It didn't even start there. It's just that's the ones that they promoted because there was all kinds of music. It's just why was that the one promoted?
Right. Yeah, because that's
Why were they the ones that got their record deals? Because this is before streaming.
What's interesting is NWA, they had a hard time. Like if you hear Ice Cube talk, it's not like as soon as they started rapping, they were just like, oh yeah, sign those guys. They were like, we can't sign these guys. Like, we can't have these guys. Like, mostly probably because they were talking about killing the police.
Yep.
I think that was a huge that was really a huge issue.
For sure.
Or was that like part of the play? Everybody wants what they can't have. Or
I want to say
it was promoted still. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it was streamed. Like it was out there. People heard it on radios. It was played. So it's like Like, how did it get out there?
That's a tough one. So I think that was after like the whole Rodney King.
Yeah, because there's so much. There was so much music being made, and yet these are the ones that are getting deals. If it was so bad, why are they getting deals?
Right.
Because they know that it's getting a rise as people are talking.
But ultimately, for his question though, you think that it is?
Oh yeah, I'm still yeah.
It is done a net negative.
Man,
It's tough.
it's weird because like then you have the question of people making it out of certain situations, being blessed, and then returning back and trying to make it better for what's going on there. So it's like there's opportunity that arose to bring certain people out. So it's like, what would the world look like if hard gangster rap was never promoted? I don't know. Would those places be forgotten about? Because a lot of them are talking about where they came from, bring attention to these places. I don't know, but then you have kids listening to it who are trying to mimic it. It's
like some of it is explaining, a lot of it is exploiting.
Yeah, it's such a weird. It's like a weird swirl of like. Yeah, it's a weird swirl of like good and bad.
I do think some good came out of it for sure, but I think what was promoted was mostly the bad. Yeah, and then
at the same. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that Dr. Umar talked about how people who lived that lifestyle, of course, they talked about it, they rapped about it, but then those people, they got the money, moved out, and then still rapping about it. That was his problem.
Yeah, I mean, if it was your experience, and then as Mikey has talked about before, like even if it wasn't your experience, but you just decided as an artist to put together a story or a set of stories or a persona that comes attached to stories, is it not art? Are you not? Should you not do that, or you're not allowed to do that because it's about violence?
What did J. Cole say? He said, "But the guns and the drug bars that y'all relying got the nerve that you think you niggas as hard as I am."
But that just means I ain't as comfortable as y'all with lying, stretching the truth. No, I never stress in the booth. Y'all feel the pressure. Me, I felt like I just left a masseuse. Effortless. How I'm skating on these records is proof. I put your favorite rapper neck in the noose. Never letting them loose. Yeah, wild stuff. Yeah. I mean, I'm with Mikey. I just think that it's too complexly layered for us to like wrap our minds around. I think that anything I don't think I know anything. How about that? Yeah. I don't think I've been questioning knowing anything. I think that trying to know something, trying to wrap your mind around the complexity of the good versus the bad that things have done is just like it's so hard. And like, and not only that, but just like the future. Yeah. I can come up with a story right now, just off the top of my head, that would just exhibit that we don't know if anything is good or bad. Okay. So you wake up in the morning and you woke up late and you got to get to work on time. So you're frantic. And so you're running around and you're super fucking upset about yourself for being late, but you're like 5 minutes late, but you know that this is going to be a strike that you shouldn't be having because you've been late too many times as it is. Right. And you get in the car and you are fucking hating life right now. And
you driving fast.
Some shit. And 2 minutes up the road,
you hitting the little lady,
is a 7-car pileup that you now get to conveniently drive past.
Right.
We don't know.
Okay.
We don't know, right? You being on time could have meant you being in that 7-car pileup, right? And then on and so forth. And then you go further. And the story could get bad even if you go past that pileup.
But then what if you were on time and you were the one in front of the person who wasn't paying attention in a way and you stopped before them, it's caught their attention. And it didn't happen because you were on time.
And it didn't happen because you were on time. And then you got out of your car to go into work, and that crackhead that wouldn't have been there now is there on time, and he robs you.
Yeah. We don't know.
You just, we don't know
Yeah.
anything.
No, we don't.
Like, we just don't know.
No, we don't. Which is why we get to the point where when you're looking back and you're like hard on how you were, it's like,
You gotta just relax and let that go. I know, man.
No point in
you know what I mean?
I know. Some people are much better at that. I know, and I'm glad that we have this conversation. This has definitely helped me out. I feel
Just
far
sitting in the
better.
cocoon, yeah.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
yeah. You just gotta, as they say, trust the process.
Yeah, trust the process.
Trust the process.
1,000%.
Yeah.
What was I saying earlier? There was something I was getting ready to think of.
Yeah, rap music stuff is interesting. There was an interesting.
What do you think?
Honestly, I mean, it's so hard to try to depict something that you grew up, that you were raised on. You know what I'm saying? You're just so used to you're used to hearing about a nigga getting killed on L Street. You're used to about this person selling XYZ over here. You're friends with this plug over here. It's so hard, man. I just think that like I said, I think it has some good bits, but I just think that the bad bits were just too heavily portrayed.
I might have to rock with that. I think, in particular, the way that we relate with women.
Oh, yeah.
I think is like probably the worst. Because I mean, I don't know if all of us are running around trying to, like, we'll throw on some big shirts, some baggy jeans when we were young and like try to thug it out. But like for the most part, we wasn't really running around. Now, if you're in a bad area, it's much easier to thug it out. But for us in the suburbs, we was like dipping our toes into the thug world. But what's much easier is to treat women badly. That's much easier because women are around. Like, you can get into that world. The thug world, you're not really about to hop into unless you're really about to hop into it. But like, girls are going to be around. They're going to be a part of your life. So it's much easier to have a terrible relationship with what you think you're supposed to have with women. And I think that's portrayed pretty terribly.
See, and that's why I think what was happening is it was used at first, promoted in a way, and they realized, oh, like, these niggas getting kind of nice, and these niggas coming up out of it with this funny dance and fun music. Like, nigga, we need to get these down, man. Start signing the other ones. Let's talk about that bullshit. All right, get them talking about that bullshit again, right? So that's what became popular. But tides were still shifting in the sense of they start seeing, damn, these niggas are still making it out. All right, so no more drug seller. Let's talk about the drug user. Let's get these motherfuckers hooked on dumb shit. You know what I mean?
Here's a good question.
Let's try to get them hooked.
Who do you all think are prominent, positive, and positive is going to be relative, role models for young black children?
Prominent, positive, young black children.
Look at that, just that quickly.
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Or maybe Kevin Durant.
But not really LeBron James.
Maybe.
Nah, not even LeBron James.
He's just trying to. He's just pulling straws. Like, maybe Kevin Durant.
It's hard, bro.
Nah, I can't even say he's athletes because these niggas are 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing the right thing, but nigga, it's because you're a giant. Like, I'm not a giant. If I'm normal, who am I gonna listen to?
Well, Kyrie's not a giant though, but
He's not.
So we still in the NBA. We're still in.
Not that.
Is there anyone that hasn't touched a basketball that maybe like, look what niggas is at?
Bro, if you use white person, that would sound crazy. You guys have anybody who doesn't shoot hoops? You got anybody out there?
Anybody without a Nike deal?
God damn. There's
So
Inky Johnson.
I'm sorry. No, I just don't know who that is.
It's the name.
I'm sorry.
The way I said the name sounds crazy.
No, I'm sorry. It is.
The way I said the name sounds crazy.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just don't know who that is. They could very well be an amazing person.
He is. You'll have to look. You have to look that one up. I'll show you him.
Okay.
He's somebody. He was an athlete. You know who that is? He's the guy with the little hand. Good pep talk. Little hand.
think so, but I don't want to
Okay.
say.
I'm gonna say a crazy name.
Follow up question.
Hold on. I'm gonna say a crazy name.
Go ahead. He about to say.
I don't even want to say his name.
That Chopper remix dude, aren't you?
No.
Oh, I maybe know where you're going, but
I don't even want to say his name. But like, I was already having some beliefs about him that are common. Charleston White.
Charleston White.
Who's that?
He's podcast. Does he have
Just
a
a person?
Yeah.
Just a name. He's just a name. Maybe he gets invited on podcasts and stuff now.
And I don't know. I can't really say.
He's kind of like the me of the, like, what's the word for it? Like positive influence. When he says some wild fucking shit on purpose,
and that gets portrayed heavily too.
and he get clicks,
like he's crazy.
but like he dead ass. He's smart. He's a smart person, and he does, I believe, really care about the state of where young niggas is at right now. I'll definitely have to show you.
Now, us having this clip and grasping the straws here at this table, because maybe there are people that are better for this question, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that are better.
I'm not saying no Breakfast Club. I'm not saying none of this other
God,
shit.
no,
but
I can't.
Right. So, do we think that there is that's needed, or like that people can just move ahead without that?
What do you mean?
Without a leader, you have felt like you've needed a big brother figure.
I'm forgetting somebody.
You've needed someone to look up to kind of have like something to grasp from.
I mean, it sounds crazy, but
absorb.
There are some of these rappers too.
Okay.
It's gonna sound crazy. Like, I mean, Lil Baby.
Okay.
He's telling people like where he came from, what he had to do. I mean, it's not for us. I'm thinking more so perspective, because different environments require different role models.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking about the environment that needs the most, I would think about somebody like Lil Baby. If they listen to him, do what he says, they're not gonna be out here doing that shit. Because that's part of his shit. Is like I'm not going back to that shit. I'm not going back and getting everybody up. I'm not going back to that shit.
Yeah.
We out of here.
Would you say, because I think Little Dirk's been trying to be on that same
Doing the
wave?
same thing. Dirk's been on the same wave. Dirk was trying to get Vaughn out of there. Remember? Because Vaughn was a straight demonic entity.
Ooh.
And Dirk was like, yo, come, just go with me, ride with me, tour with me, and just just tell your story. And then Vaughn had stories telling kids, like, you don't even know what it's like y'all not ready, don't live this life. He would just tell the stories of what he had to do. Yeah, it's very appealing, but when you listen to a lot of the stuff he was saying within the albums, he was trying to tell motherfuckers, like, listen, y'all don't want to be in this shit at the end of the day, but that's not the shit that gets promoted in the sales.
Yeah.
Which goes back to like the weird question, because it's like there's a certain powers that be that want to push the negativity, of course.
Yep.
Like, no, what person is really making music? Yeah, I want these niggas to copy me. Hey, every nigga out there, go shoot a nigga today. Let's get it. Kill these things all day, every day.
Right.
Like, nobody wants them to do that. Even you listen to a crazy person like Kodak, he's telling you, like, this was my life. This is what I did. And I'm also telling you at the same time, get away from that shit. Because it's like nothing's good coming from that. So he's trying to tell the same people that. But those songs and those projects they're not the ones that are pushed and promoted as much. So it's like a weird necessary evil to it.
RJ's always said that the people, he's like, he doesn't really like a lot of these takes, because he's like, the people at the top
Yes.
are positive. Like the people at the top, you're talking about Kendrick, Cole, Jay-Z. I mean, you maybe don't want to throw Drake in this conversation, Big Sean, but like people that do talk about positive things.
Who did you just say last?
Big Sean. I mean,
Not Sean Don. You're not giving Sean that credit.
But
Yeah, every time. Listen, this is the first time this has happened. Every time I try to throw Big Sean, and then everybody say, "Hey man, what you just said?"
Hold on, hold on, Earl. Hold on, man. He said people at the top.
I'm saying, I'm saying rappers with longevity that are doing it at a high level. Big Sean he's been doing this since that cypher, since that BET cypher, bro. He's been doing this for a long time.
We're doing what?
Hey yo, hey man, I can't. Hold on, I'm gonna show you a freestyle of his after this. Okay, it may make you think differently of him. I'm gonna show you a freestyle of his that he did on that. I forgot what
gave her that.
The beat.
That's what I was wondering.
Oh jeez,
That's crazy. That's crazy. People do not be Sean. They do not fuck with Big Sean. I get it. It's kind of like, do you look at Big Sean the way you look at Wale?
I put Wale above Big Sean, dog.
Dang.
But I'm also biased because I'm from the DMV.
Wale is kind of underrated.
I put T.
What do you think? What do you think happened with Wale?
He was very ego driven.
Ooh.
He took a lot of things personally, and so the industry itself just didn't want to deal with him. That's it.
Yikes.
It sucks that I don't go to the albums, like, because I'll see them.
I'll put T Grizzly above Big Sean.
No.
Listen.
T Grizzly's actually
Listen.
T.
You know what he's doing?
I don't know what he's doing.
So over the past 3-4 years, he's been making most of his money not from rap, but from streaming video games, playing Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. That shit is
He's putting all his friends on. He built a server.
Wait a minute. I don't understand why this puts. I'm talking about rap.
Just rapping.
Yeah, I'm not talking about does he make more money or does he do a bunch of other stuff. I'm talking about it's like people rapping at the top and like what it is they're talking about.
Well, could you say that Wayne?
Big Sean has to be at least in tier. What tier? If there are tiers, what tier are you putting in? Hold on a second. Oh, maybe you don't listen at all. Like you haven't. When was the last time you listened to?
The last time he put something out,
it was like 2020.
Oh, the last album he dropped. The last one was with like Hit Boy or something like that.
Bro,
no, he had Travis.
Out here.
He had Travis Scott on there. He had, of course, his wifey on there.
I can tell you.
I think I remember that one.
Yeah, it was like 2020, right? 2021.
I think I remember that.
You didn't like that one, did you?
No. Listen, I'm telling you, he's not out here anymore. He's not out. I'm just saying he's not active.
Well, let me at least just say J. Cole and Kendrick. All right, let me just say like those two monsters at the top.
Yeah,
you know,
are they at the top?
They gotta be.
Hold on a second. Because now we finna have a real discussion.
Yes.
Because now I don't know what we're even talking about anymore.
Yes. Who are they at the top?
They're at the top as far of
ability.
I'm talking about ability as well as credibility. Like if you got your top 50 rappers in a room and was like, yo, who's at the top? They're gonna be like, yeah, Kendrick,
and J. Cole.
Yeah, like credibility, like who people respect in the game.
Dr. Dre.
They're gonna be like J. Cole, Kendrick.
Dr. Dre.
Yeah,
55-year-old man
gave K-Dot.
I'm more so thinking about like
the pioneers.
Not even that. I'm thinking about if we're talking about the state of where these young niggas is at and who they're listening to, who is at the top. They not turning on no J. Cole.
Listening to.
Not even that. I'm thinking about who's at the top for real. Like
I'm talking about right. But when people say I'm your favorite rapper, that's what I'm talking about.
But they don't care about none of that shit.
No. I'm not worried about them little kids. I'm saying those little kids look up to someone, and who that person looks up to is Kendrick and J. Cole.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying.
But I thought
what I mean by the top, not record sales. I'm talking about who is respected at the top of hip hop.
At the top of the top.
Right. And what are they speaking about?
But that could.
That's kind of debatable. Yeah.
But that could shift thinking within the culture too, or
Oh no, that's not. Yeah, okay.
that's kind of how I gauge it. I gauge it based off of like, does what he says even matter? Clearly not. Kendrick dropped that good ass album and look what's happening in DC. Them niggas don't give a fuck about what Kendrick is saying, nigga. You know what I mean?
They didn't care about that therapy session.
No, nigga threw that nigga. They didn't even stream that joke. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it may be the top of the top, but is it?
Busta Rhymes
Who's hearing it? Like, I'm not saying like, I'm saying like we are, because we're chilling. But where we need people to be at, like, who's really at the top of that?
One of J. Cole's songs that I like the most is on Let Go My Hand on the last album he put out is sometimes I question whether this shit matters. Putting substance into something in the world so used to instant gratification.
Yeah.
And then he moves on with it. So it's like even he be rapping just like this.
Drake's going through a crisis.
Oh, for sure.
He's going through a crisis. He put out his album. And it was funny because if he were to switch places between Take Care and the For All the Dogs, people would have looked at For All the Dogs as like a Take Care, but it's just like, it's not like he has this sound like that was a Drake ass album, R&B ass album.
Which means he's going through a crisis though.
He even said it on the album.
He's going through a crisis.
Yeah, he said that he doesn't know how to rap at a high level anymore. He said that on the album.
Well, he does, but the thing is that doesn't get no type of attention from anybody. Remember when Joe Budden called him out and Drake immediately hopped on Instagram and started typed out a long ass paragraph based off of what Joe Budden said.
Yep.
Because Joe Budden told him, nigga, stop talking about fucking the 24-year-olds in the club. Stop. You're an old man. Like, basically, you're an old man in the club now. And that got into that nigga feelings.
He was just, and that was just his opinion.
You think the young niggas is looking up to Drake? Like, yeah, I'm trying to be like that. That's Drake. Yeah, he's no. Like,
they don't even think that they're listening to Drake.
Nigga, listen, 30 years old.
I know, but Drake though,
nigga,
it's not. It doesn't get. It doesn't. It don't get to Drake.
They don't give a fuck about no Drake.
Drake does not reach them.
No, my nigga. No.
I think he's falling off.
Nigga,
sure.
I'm not. He's not falling off at all. What I'm saying is that like the generational turn is right. It's happening right now to where like there's a clear split between like who we know who's at the top, got the money, got the sales, got all that. They not listening to none of them niggas, bro. Like they just not. Like it's not happening.
Yeah, it's a bunch of little.
Yeah. They. You gotta look at the YouTubes. That's who they're listening to. That's who's really quote unquote on top. That's who's shifting the thinking.
Yeah, the people shifting the thinking is like
that's what
18, 19 years old.
Yeah. Where the thinking is being shifted. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That to me, that's the top. Who has the influence over the thinking of what's happening out here?
Okay.
Because you got all this good ass positive music, but these niggas.
See, because we were also listening to older people when we were young. But see, now the rappers are younger. Like 50, I was listening to 50. I was listening to Eminem. I was like, but they were older gentlemen. Like they were not 17, 19 years old.
Right.
You know, but now, like the rappers are super young.
When we hit our teen years, who were the ones, quote unquote, on top in terms of like shifting the thinking? Wise?
Teen, Kanye.
Kanye.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put Lupe Fiasco in there.
Okay.
Because
I'll give you that. Yes. Who else?
Wayne
for sure.
Kid Cudi, throw him in there. You can throw Drake in there now.
Drake was in there
for sure.
Who else you got? Who else was part of that freshman class? Wale. You can just throw that freshman class in there, I guess.
Yeah, but I think even then he was still underrated.
He was still around.
Okay. I got you.
You could probably
Cole.
Cole again.
Yeah, Cole's in there.
Not yet.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right.
Not yet.
Forest Hills Drive ain't come out yet.
Yeah. 14 is when J. Cole started getting his shit off.
Wait, that wasn't his first album though, was it?
No,
he had another album before that.
Yeah.
That's
what I'm talking about. In our teens,
Right. Okay.
Yeah, Wayne was a huge.
Wayne, Kanye, Wiz.
Oh yeah, Wiz.
Oh God, Tyga.
Kind of was, but not really.
Not shifting thought.
You're not shifting thought. Though.
No. We not. Don't see. That was like the Big Sean thing. Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't ever.
Don't ever.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be like that. I don't mean to be. No. I want to talk like everyone. Like people are always gonna hear this. Like I want to talk like Tyga might hear this. I don't mean no disrespect.
No,
but just don't bring his name up like that. That's all I'm saying.
The only reason why I said that is because like the whole Young Money anything was like coming up.
Yeah, but then that's like saying Lil Chucky and the rest of them was shifting the thought.
I'm surprised you know that name.
It's crazy that I brought that up.
So when you bring those people up, like, what were they talking about in the raps most of the time? Getting fly, getting high.
Fucking bitches.
That's all we was doing. That's all we wanted to do.
That's all we wanted to do.
Get high and get fly.
Yeah, Lupe had me thinking a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit,
but
yeah, a little bit.
But yeah. Shit.
So now the ones who are on top now,
What are they talking about?
doing drugs,
I had a switch, couldn't nobody duck.
doing drugs and killing niggas. Taking drugs and killing niggas, not just selling drugs.
Yeah,
Nigga, I am doing drugs and getting niggas out of here.
Damn,
Like, it's like you're not even. So if you want to copy that nigga, you're not even getting money behind it.
Okay. How about this? Because I got a 2-part question here. I want to talk about the N word.
Okay.
And I also want to talk about, do we think, and we'll get to the N word, is it unrealistic to think that people can look up to people that don't look like them?
Is it unrealistic?
Is it unrealistic to think for younger people? I know that we can look at people from all over the world,
Yes.
but you think it's unrealistic?
Well, for the most part.
Yeah, okay.
Only because, like, in your mind, when you're looking up to somebody, you're trying to see yourself.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
You're trying to see yourself. Now, you can definitely admire somebody,
Yeah, but you don't feel like, yeah.
but I mean,
But you need to see someone that looks like you do something and be like, yeah, like, he can do it. Like, okay, I can.
but
He look like me. He look like my brother.
Yeah.
He look like us.
But I mean, if where you come from is very super duper diverse, then maybe
Yeah.
more an athlete, maybe. But it's like, even then, like, who's like, yeah, I'm trying to grow up and be like
Cristiano Ronaldo,
I'm trying to be like
Messi.
Dirk Nowitzki, dog.
Manny Pacquiao.
Dirk is a dog. Like, he's a Hall of Famer.
Well, yeah, but you also need like a personality behind. Like, he's just playing basketball. He's not like,
Dirk had he's a black wife, and he would show up to the games with a home cooked meal.
oh, see, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
Oh,
so it's
Dirk,
like,
Dirk was that.
Well, part of the culture.
No, but hold on a second. Hold on. I mean, like, you want someone that's speaking. Like, maybe you hear them on podcast. Like, you want to hear a personality. Like, you want to hear someone that's speaking about stuff. Like, I don't know if Dirk's out there talking to the people.
yeah, I think it's once you get older, once you kind of, you find somebody that's in your lane of field, and you're like, okay, I'm trying to be like that
no matter
person.
what they look like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
Mhm.
All right. Now, do you feel like the N word is degradatory? Do you feel like it is not good for us in the long run?
I think people's perception of the N word just like I'll use my uncle as a reference because
You know the old heads. I already know his perspective.
yeah because he was like as soon as I said it, so I walked in his house and like my little brother's like, oh hey, what's up, nigga?
Hey, man.
Oh, that's the way you walked in the house. Oh, that's the way you walked in the house. See,
Hey, what's up, nigga?
Hey, what's up, nigga?
But to be fair, I didn't even know he was there. I didn't know he was on the
You might
couch.
need to relax.
Oh, all right, I'll
Read the room.
But like at the same time, he was just like, you shouldn't say that. That's not how you were raised. X, Y, Z. I'm just like, I mean, I see what you're saying. You didn't particularly raise me, but like, at the same time, I'm not trying to throw slight at him or nothing like that.
He's like, I see what you're saying.
You didn't particularly.
You didn't particularly raise me.
My bad.
You
but
don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, but ultimately, you feel like it's harmless. It's just like just a perspective thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
It's the same way you look at the woe. It's the same way you look at
Kinda, but
like it's all fun.
Nah, it's a little different. I just think that look at time. We are still very, very, very close to coming out of slavery in human history.
Yep, it was like 3 people ago.
Nigga, there are people walking around daily who were children in these black and white photos when schools were being desegregated and they were having rocks thrown at them. You've got older white people whose grandparents were right there. You know, everything just happened. You know what I mean? It all just happened. So to me, I think about time in the sense of 1,000 years from now, if the N-word's still gonna hold weight. If Earth is still rocking 1,000, 1,500 years from now, people are gonna say nigga. Like,
are they gonna be arguing?
Is it still gonna be a thing? Because like we're past it. Because like we didn't grow up in it, but there's people who did grow up in a certain time and everything, and they don't like this. They don't like it.
Yep.
So they teach their side not to fuck with it, and that's why there's such a division about it because it's so close. It's right there. Matter of fact, the first person who went to a desegregated school is still alive. Isn't Rosa Parks like? No, not Rosa Parks. Who is it that's like Joe Biden? Emmett Till would be like Joe Biden's age, I think. Isn't that it?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I might be wrong, but I want to say. So it's like they try to show us black and white pictures, so you're going to be thinking like, it happened so long ago. Shit like
it just happened.
It just happened.
Yeah.
So that's why I think a lot of emotions are tied to that word because certain people and their families.
Do you think that it should remain in certain cultures? Like the word should mostly just remain.
Only certain people should say it.
Yeah. Like, do you think that at the bare minimum that that there's something weird about the desire for other people to want to say it?
It's funny.
It's funny.
But I mean, everybody wants to do what they're not allowed to do.
Oh yes.
Everybody wants to be cool.
I heard someone call someone Hispanic like the S word that people use against.
See, S word. Oh,
yeah.
Inspan.
It's funny. People are still saying that?
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. So like, someone said that, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Throwback word,
and they said it like to the person.
Yeah,
I was like, "Whoa!"
I feel the same way about the C word for white people. The C word.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say for Asians.
Yeah, Asians. What's C word for Asians?
CH.
Chinese? Oh no.
No, it is CHI.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's funny because it's like all these words. It's like, dang, people are still saying that.
Yeah, it's just like it's just weird. It's just for some reason, nigga is cool. Like for some reason, like that one rises above to like a cool thing. And none of these other terms are cool.
Culture. I'm telling you, when we're old, like we're older, like it doesn't bother you now. When you get older, like if it rolls off the tongue, like you say it normal, it's not a thing. Like we were saying it, and at first it always sounded a little funny.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up,
nigga? But then, like damn, like that was a real conscious effort to use that word. You get around your friends. Come on, man, say it.
Come on, man.
You can say it to them. They're cool.
Nah, that one nigga. He would always. He had that.
They're
face.
cool niggas.
Yeah, it's like But then there was one day it finally rolled off when he said it. Like, do you remember that day? Were you there?
I don't know if I was there,
bro. Tony was either there or wasn't there. It was a day where Big Tone was on some bullshit.
Is this fucked up that we're just saying that? Should we bleep his name out?
No.
Because I feel like, is this fucked up that we're just saying?
Maybe, yeah. He'll probably want to bleep.
Yeah.
I'll bleep his name. So it was one day Big Tone was on some bullshit. Either he was there, was supposed to be there, and he wasn't, or something. And I was like, man, it's always something with this nigga, man. And I was like, yes, there you go. I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like that's how, yeah. It was funny. I was like, yeah, like just didn't even think about it. Like
that's crazy.
I was like, yeah, bro, okay. Like people talk like that, like just like
yeah, something about
It's just how you say it, So like 1,000 years from now, ain't nobody out here still saying
that's
like
great.
some other shit.
That's great.
Gosh, you know what I mean? I just think it's the time.
We're out here trying to push the culture. We out here trying to question ourselves and push the culture forward. Oh man. It's just interesting thinking about the types of people that we latch on to first to even try to pull a name out of a hat as a positive influence on the culture. You know what I mean? Just like we go straight to sports. Sports rap. Sports rap. Sports rap.
And that's,
But I'm thinking like who's
yeah, I know. Like who has
remember
the
Lil
influence.
Baby
But that's
said-
another thing that's weird is like that's who we look up to.
Remember Lil Baby said, like, he was like, I don't give a fuck about no award. And he was like, I'd rather just perform. Like, I don't care about
Oh, yeah.
That's he said, that's more important to me.
Right.
I want them to see me on here.
That's right, because I like
Remember
that part a
remember
lot.
they had snubbed him. He had the album of the year and they didn't give it to him. He's like, I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, he was like, but what? He was
He's
like, he listened to him first. He was like, well, what y'all think?
And he was like, man, we need to go there.
Yeah, nah, man, we don't need to go up there. Like, nah, they ain't respect you. He was just like, yeah, but I just kind of like, I just want to perform.
That's
You know what I mean? Like, I
man.
just think
I don't
like
care
that's kind of the
I don't
award
care
to
about that
me.
shit. They're gonna look at that.
And then they were like, oh yeah, all right.
He was like, yeah, them kids ain't gonna care about that. They're gonna look at me and see me on TV. Like, they're gonna see, like, that's more important to me.
That was kind of like when I saw it, that was kind of like a little genius moment because he was like real humble. Like he was just like kind of like laying down. He was like, I just kind of want to perform. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
like
And he switched everybody's mind in that room in a second's time.
I'm telling you, yeah.
Yeah.
And people get kind of people start getting upset about Lil Baby. They start saying like, oh, he keeps doing the same thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, is he starting to get da baby type of
No, he's not.
flack?
He just puts out really bad snippets. But every time the album or whatever comes out, it's
Because the baby, as far as I'm concerned,
he was.
yeah, but is he? He's
Apparently he's rebranded out. I don't know. He got into a lot of trouble like 2 years ago.
Is he the adolescent now? Is he going?
He said some.
Is he the teenager now? Is he like,
I don't know. He's trying to.
what's the rebrand going to be?
He's trying to rebrand because he said some wild shit at a concert.
Oh yeah, I heard something about that.
He's talking about gay people. My fans know that it's some bullshit. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, he did.
You don't want to do that.
I didn't even know he said that.
It's the same thing to me. It's like it's the same thing.
But you know, as you said, do people still say those words? Keon and I were on FaceTime the other morning. He was telling me he was talking to someone, young boy, that was like, oh yeah, you know, I went out. I think he maybe went with his girl. I went out with my girl. This Doja Cat concert, and you know,
I was gonna go to that.
There was a whole lot of, you know what I mean, like undercover gay dudes in there or whatever.
They weren't undercover.
He was like, you know, like I'm cool. Like, he was like, you know, like I'm cool. You know, you know what I mean. I'm just saying, like, but if you just, you know what I mean, they was in there with like another dude, like it'd be two dudes in there.
That's not undercover.
Whatever. And he'd be like, you know, I'm just saying, like, if you want to be gay, just be gay.
They were
You know what I'm saying?
They were out in public together. That's not. It's funny.
There were so many. Keon and I were crying, laughing.
You just put every gay nigga to back. Hey,
That's what Keon and I was. He was like, "What you want him to start twerking?
Hey, nigga, hey, come here, nigga, let me kiss you now. Is that what you want? You just want every nigga to be."
I was like, and what if, there were two guys that really like Doja Cat?
Let me tell you
they
something.
were.
I hear you.
Is that not the case?
I hear you. No, I hear you.
It's not happening.
The chance is
Just
not.
let me know.
The chance is not zero.
But it's also not above 2.
Not above 1. Damn.
Okay. All right. I don't know Doja Cat's music, so I wouldn't even know.
Okay.
But okay.
She's another problematic cast person that's funny, but it's like she's a musical. She's talented musically, bro.
She is, but she's been
on some nut shit.
Yeah, that whole like what was Paint the Town Red one, that was kind of wild.
The video's wild, but the song is hard.
The song is hard.
The song is hard.
Extremely wild.
I guess it
does it
just
on
needs to
purpose.
be a song for every sort of feeling and every experience that can be had. It's not.
She's telling you in her song she knows the formula how to make these shits pop.
Yeah, she never used to do that shit, but now it's
She's making. She likes money.
Well, she got into that poppy. She got boxed into like she was good at really good at that. Yeah, you kiss me more. You know that song?
Yeah.
You know that song?
Dude, I don't know anything.
Oh my gosh! But I'll have to show you the songs. But she's talented, anyways. But she's also super problematic in the sense of what the main people want to see. Like she was in a big group video chats with like guys who were like might have been on some racist shit, you know? Because
What was she doing?
like showing her feet and shit.
Ooh. I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm missing. What's problematic about it?
So like it's like, think of like a FaceTime with like 20 people
Okay.
on a computer.
Mm-hmm.
It's all white men.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them have usernames, and they like to make racist jokes and stuff. She's in that FaceTime group.
She's like
having fun with them, laughing, showing feet. People are like, yeah, she was in the racist chat showing feet. That's been like the running joke. And she, basically,
so you like just selling, like what do they call it? Like just cooning.
That's what they say.
In a sense.
But is it cooning if you are who you are? You know what I mean? Like, what's cooning?
Like, yeah, because cooning implies that you are doing theatrics in order to appease.
When she was first blowing up, she has ass, and black people were like, "Oh shit, I didn't know Doja Cat was out here like that."
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, I know she lost a lot of weight. So people were making a joke. Oh, she started noticing niggas was liking her because she dates a white person. So it's always just been a thing of people kind of like
she's
not
her hair off too.
They don't want to fuck with her. She cut her hair bald. But she'll tell you, she's like, I don't care about none of my fans. Like, nobody told y'all to like me. Yeah. I just make music and y'all like the music, but y'all don't have to like me as a person. Like, why do you like me? She's really trying to sever the ties of like, stop idolizing celebrities, like, but not who you think we are.
Yeah.
So she's making these videos. She made a video with the pentaton red of her like a devil. Like, I'm gonna worship the devil.
Yeah, like, that shit was real.
And she made it as like as evil as she possibly could.
Yeah.
But then the song is hard. And her tour is selling the fuck out. That shit's going crazy. Music is fire. She's an interesting person.
Yeah. That sounds like some
sonically,
early Tyler the Creator.
Yes, she's like a female. She's like a woman Tyler the Creator right now, in a sense. Because he couldn't do what he's doing. He couldn't have done that now.
Yeah.
And he got him the fuck up out of here. He couldn't have done that now.
Interesting how he grew as a person.
You know who else is doing that funny shit? Lil Nas. Even though I wouldn't say he wasn't as musically. I mean, he had some good jumps, but I wouldn't put him in the same category as being musically as talented. But he did the same funny shit.
Yeah. Another thing that a lot of that, if you see like the BET Awards and stuff like that, when some of these like Sam Smith, Lil Nas X, Doja Cat,
look like the devils. Like
they're just portraying worshiping him. It's just all that evil and whatnot. I'm just like, why? Why are y'all doing that?
Yeah, they're doing it to get a rise out of people. That's all they're doing. They want people to talk about it. That's all they want. They want you to say, look at him. He's worshiping the devil. Look at him. And then it's like, oh, let me see. And then while you're seeing, you're playing his song. And then you might be like,
but you're playing the song. Right.
And you listen to the song, like, is the song any worse than what, like, NBA Youngboy's talking about?
Yeah, that's what I meant to bring up on here when it was me, you, RJ, and Duty. And then I kind of thought about something in a way I hadn't before when Duty laughed. Is when that... and this is funny because I meant to bring this up earlier. Is like people having to look back on who they were or something like that and just like have to live with that every single day. Is Joe Rogan with the whole nigger compilation.
Nigger, I say nigger.
Oh,
and
that shit was funny.
He said that outright.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, it was
nigger.
It was within context. He was always talking about it like being a part of a bit of like Richard Pryor or
he
just
was,
like how
he was just like, I can say like the word.
He thought that if it was within context, it wouldn't matter. Like people would see that it was in context and he didn't mean it to be like a mean racist thing.
Okay.
And then when the COVID thing happened and he was, I think he
was going real hard. He didn't want to be. Yeah, he was going real hard.
Well, he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't getting vaccinated. He also wasn't completely against it. He was just questioning.
He was questioning it.
The thing.
He also had a few instances where he was naming some science studies that weren't really validated. So everybody was really going hard about that. Basically,
So then it seems as though there may have been a campaign to sort of like slander him or to, burn his name. And so then a compilation of him of like super old episodes came out of him saying the word like various times. And then he had to come out and put the turtleneck on. Once you put a turtleneck on and you record a video, you really trying to.
Yeah, I was surprised he did that.
But he has to live with that. Every day.
He's a comedian.
That's just out there.
He's an old school comedian.
Right. Right.
He doesn't give a fuck.
I suppose. I suppose I forgot damn where I was going with it.
Like he apologized. Like he did the opposite of what these people were doing. You know what I mean?
What people? Oh yeah.
We're talking about like he.
Well, no. So what I meant is after he did that, he gained like 2 million followers.
Yeah.
Oh. So I said that, and Duty laughed. He was like, right? And then as he said that, I was like, oh, I didn't understand that perspective before. Like, because Duty said a whole thing just by laughing. Because, you know, sometimes he do that. And I never thought about that perspective. I thought of what you were just saying. You go there, you go there for the scandal.
And you stay.
And then you stay for the art.
You're like, oh.
What you enjoyed. So that's what I was kind of thinking. Duty was kind of hinting at, I wonder who those people are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wonder if, like, they were just like, oh, that's what he's on? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm with him now.
They listen to the
I wonder what percentage of people were just kind of like, yeah. See what I'm saying? Like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and decided to start following him versus
they would unfollow immediately after like 2 or 3 episodes.
After they just realized that he's really not on that sort of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. So it must have overwhelmingly been people that just like went there for the scandal and then stayed for the
people who
content.
who probably never really checked it out, did it for the scandal and were like, oh, what are you talking about? Oh, okay.
Man, he's got a lot of interesting conversations on here.
Yeah.
He seems cool. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That's all I got on that. Is there any lurking conversations or questions that we need to ask while we're still here? Where we at? We gotta be.
AI, bro.
Oh,
we're on the way. AI.
This man.
Trying to tell you.
Listen, I get it. I'm certain that we are. Listen, man, what do you want me to do? The artificial intelligence is going to take over.
You know what's crazy? I remember I was talking to Austin, RJ, and Mo. Probably like last summer, and we were talking about AI. Right around the time when that podcast came out, that was like AI could decode a thought. That one, and I was telling him, I was like, "Hey man, give it like 2 years, and I guarantee you, we'll have something to where like we can have our AirPods in, and somebody could be speaking to you in a different language, and in real time, it's going to be translating it into English in real fucking time, right?" I said that last summer. That it would be like 2 or 3 years into that. They're already implementing that into the next phone. It's like the next, I think it's the Google phone or is it Samsung? I think it's.
I thought there was an app that already does.
There's an app that does that when you speak into it and then it'll translate it and then it'll spit it out.
Right.
I'm talking about in real time.
Just real time. Just they're speaking and it's just fluent.
It's the thing now. It's being put into a phone as a native thing. Like it's part of the phone.
Damn.
It does that
you know
fast.
what'll be interesting about that, and Valerie and I were having this conversation, if you start to learn another language, you'll quickly realize that
all languages are damn near the same.
No, that you can't, there's just certain things that don't quite, like you can translate.
There's rules of languages and
yeah, but certain things don't quite hit the same. Like when you translate it from one language to the next, it loses some of its magic.
Or it gains more of its magic.
Okay.
An example, somebody who I knew that was working at a job, these are Hispanic people. He was a younger guy, and it was an older guy. I knew the younger guy. And the older guy, I guess he was a fun man. He wanted to have fun with mans.
Okay.
Oh. So he said something in Spanish to him. And they were all like, I wasn't there at the job, but they came and told me later, and I couldn't understand why they were laughing so much. Like, yo! And when they explained it to me, they said, yeah, like what he had basically said is that he wants to take his dick and peel it and eat it like a banana. But like he had said it in like it's like 2 or 3 words, I guess in Spanish. It's different.
Yeah.
So,
but that's what I'm saying is that sometimes it's like I don't know if it. I mean, it makes it easy. It's like it translates it so you can
never say that.
It translates it so you can understand it, but like in the language, the way he said it probably holds a bit more weight though. There's it's like it can be
like I love you, but then in that language, like, I love you enough to die for you 1,000 times.
Yeah, like it's something like a bit stronger that comes with it.
Okay,
they can. It's learning. It'll say that.
Wow.
Yeah, but the thing is that you may not want to, as an English speaking person, you may not want to hear that. Because like hearing the weight of it translated turns into something weird for you, is what I'm saying.
At first. But over time, there will be like a new language. Two new languages almost, to where like I'm talking to somebody who's speaking Spanish and it's translating it, and it's like it's bridging it.
Yeah, it bridges the gap between the two.
It'll get bridged.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And then we'll start saying things back to them with that love, with that heaviness. It'll translate, and then we'll start to speak in our language
differently,
heavy as they speak to us, and then they'll start speaking a little lighter to us because based off our language, and it's going to
sync up.
It's going to meet in the middle because of what we have.
Wow,
that's where it's going. And I was saying this in like July, 2-3 years from now, bro. It's December. Vince was the first one to say it. He was like, "It's going exponential at a rate that like we really can't comprehend because it's learning from itself." And I was like, I heard him, but now I see it, and I'm like, oh, and I'm in these buildings where we're building it. I'm like, oh, this shit's gonna get crazy. I sat down for 30 minutes, and I trained that AI to do something, and by the end of it, it can do that shit in like 5 seconds. Took me, the first problem took 30 minutes. The last problem I can do it right now, it takes 5 seconds. We're out of here. We're out of here. Say goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for coming to listen. Peace, everybody. Peace.
Say goodbye.